Good morning. It's Saturday morning, the 25th of November, or maybe the 26th of November, depending on where you're at. I'm TakersMinion, and this is Shooting the Breeze. I'm joined by my co host, the young man from the land of the rising sun, Mr. Dr. Senju. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. 1 a.m. on my side. How are you, good sir?
Yeah, I'm doing well. And yourself?
Doing good. Just I think it's an extra layer of crazy and an extra layer of lazy as well on my end.
Why is that? Did you go to an onsen again?
No, I
Okay.
wish I could go. I wish I could go just to rub it in the face. Because you and I both know how you don't really particularly like me when I
Yeah,
brag
yeah,
about going
yeah,
on
yeah. I
that.
know. I miss my days in Okinawa, okay?
Okinawa is nice. It's very
That's
nice.
freaking 30 years ago. Over 30
Woo!
years ago.
And they say
We
I'm
are
old. Oh,
also joined. We are also joined by someone who is making a triumphant return to the podcasting world, and that person is lepsaxon. Good. Is it afternoon over there for you?
It's good afternoon indeed. Yes,
Good afternoon to you, ma'am. How are you?
thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's nice that Welcome back to the podcasting world.
Thank you. I'm glad you've asked me.
All right. And we are also joined by a new person. He is known as One Winged Angel on the daily. He does occasionally pop in on a nightly. Good morning to you. I know it's early in the morning for you. It's 10 after 8 thereabouts in the sun in lovely California. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
I had to get up at 6:30 to be ready for this.
That's okay.
Taker, first question. Where do
What?
you get all these new cherries to pop?
I did, he asked about it and I said, "You want to be on next week?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." He
He's
goes,
like,
"How
"Man,
does one get out of your podcast?" Well, and I asked,
fair
"You
enough."
volunteer?" I asked him, "You volunteer?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." I said, "All right. I need your Twitter handle. This is how it works." Da 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 da.
All business like an old one.
I
Yep.
Do it.
actually
Do it.
I work for a traditional radio station out here, and I've been on the air many times when I used to.
Mhm.
So I do have experience.
Awesome.
So I was excited to get a chance to talk about something I like, which before it was rock music, and now I get to talk about wrestling.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, one, you will be endeared to Metal Matt. Number two, you will be
Yeah.
endeared to Taker for that matter. Because number one, Metal Matt loves metal, or basically rock music in general. Number two, Taker does love his radio's connection. So,
Yeah.
Yep,
so
that's how I
anyway.
find them. All they do is ask. It's kind of like I've got someone scheduled for penciled in for the 9th already.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, someone you were talking to the other night.
Why do I sense that it's either you or me who's gonna pull all these people in?
We both can.
Of course. Already
I'm
top two.
waiting for you to pull some wrestlers in from NJPW.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious.
Oh dear lord. Suddenly I'll go come in and say, Taker, I have Kazuchika Okada. Do you want to talk to him?
Sure. The best one would be Hiromu with
Takahashi.
Daryl. Yes,
Oh,
with
okay.
Daryl.
How the hell would Daryl want to talk? That's what I want to know.
Just to have it in there on video with Daryl on his lap would be classic.
Will be wonderful, to be honest.
Can't hurt to ask.
Sure. I guess. Why not?
I'm sure you're following him on Twitter.
Uh, I'm not. My girlfriend would be.
Maybe she could sweet talk him
No.
for us.
Number one, she'll die first of too much excitement.
She'd
And number
she'd,
two,
she'd she'd call off sick just to watch the show.
number one, number two, it depends on whether we go to the Wrestle Kingdom 12. So there is that.
Yeah. We
The ticket,
digress.
yeah, but I digress. First ticket was too expensive for me, I think, and there's only one, so we're waiting on a cheaper one.
Yeah, you should be able to find them.
Let's do that.
worst comes to worst, you drive up there and get a couple tickets off of scalpers. I know they've got them over there too, right?
I know, yeah, but not as prevalent as over there. But I digress. Anyway,
Right. The main reason we're here is to talk about Survivor Series, the week that was Raw and SmackDown, and possibly take over War Games. Yes, I know, lepsaxon, you didn't see War Games, so you'll probably just sit on the sidelines and go,
No, I did see it. I didn't see Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, okay. That's fine. So you don't know about the debuts?
I heard about the debuts, of course, because obviously I'm following still cage side seats. So.
all right.
So MDS,
Mm-hmm.
shall we talk about? What shall we talk about first? I know I didn't watch the pre-show.
Well, okay. Let's talk about. Okay, since considering that most of us didn't watch the pre-show.
Yeah, I missed the pre-show too. So
Okay, pre-show was the kickoff show. It happened. True, it happened. But in the context of both Elias facing off against Matt Hardy, it was for a match that was thrown onto the card on the last second. It's actually
no promotion for it.
Nope, no rhyme or reason for it. It was actually a surprisingly a strong showing for both Elias and Matt Hardy. And if you follow Smack Raw last week, Matt Hardy even pulled off something that might be signifying a return of the Broken One, because he's on his ropes per se. But we'll touch on that when we touch on that. So, back to this match, it was good. No nitpicking about it for a match that was thrown into the mix for no rhyme or reason. So cool. Let's quickly move on then to Cruiserweight Championship match, Kalisto with Muscles Marinara and Enzo Amore.
Get Enzo off my TV.
Seconded.
Anyone else? There's a first, there's a second.
What does lepsaxon think of Enzo Amore?
I think he has a purpose. I hope he doesn't cause much more problems backstage. That's a big issue, but I think he does serve a purpose as a performer. That's just my opinion.
What's the purpose?
The purpose to rile people up and to get ragdolled.
Okay, you were saying something, lepsaxon. You got cut off there, so go ahead.
No. I didn't quite catch you before, but yeah, his purpose is to annoy us. Unfortunately,
and he's good at it.
Very.
I mean,
Taker's living proof.
I am getting tired of his catchphrases and his, half-assed rap style and all. It's getting old fast. It's like when New Day was heel. It got old quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing with Enzo. He's running it into the ground, and before long, we're going to have the basic thing of seeing people buy tickets and see him lose, period.
Yeah. Which, again, on business standpoint, it's good for business. You're buying tickets just to see who gets to beat up Enzo or who gets to live beat up Enzo Amore Day. So that's good.
Yes.
And in the absence of you losing your mind, and some people say that he's annoying and he's grating, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great at annoying. He's great at annoying. I'll give you that.
Okay. I mean, there's no fault in that. It's just that his issues with backstage is the apparent issue, which stems, I think, in that case.
He's been let back on the bus yet.
I don't think so. Okay. But, okay. Those story points aside, I think all of you, and Taker, you will agree on this one. Moore is just not good enough to carry a huge load of the match. Mm-mm. You put him with another wrestler, any kind of wrestler anyways, and he does not know how to put a decent match.
Because he has no skills.
And shouldn't you expect that? Shouldn't you expect a competent wrestler like Enzo Amore, who's on the main roster, who's on the biggest company that provides wrestling in WWE, to be at least competent?
Well, yeah, but then he came from the Dana Brooke school because she couldn't wrestle worth a damn either.
Yeah.
Well, on the side of Dana Brooke, I side with her because she has the look, and she seems to want to learn. On Enzo More's point,
not so much.
Not so much. I mean, what else? What else can we say about Enzo More? He knows how to talk. He knows how to shit talk. Yeah. He just doesn't know how to wrestle or do a wrestling match.
Yeah. And typically, as far as I know, the heel is the one calling the match in the ring for the most part. Exactly. And I just don't see that. I don't see him being the one calling the match.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how.
Yeah.
And hopefully with him beating Kalisto for the title, retaining his title on this one, hopefully this is it's over and done with. Let's see who gets to beat up Enzo next on 205
Cedric
Live.
Alexander?
Hopefully, because unfortunately I didn't watch 205 Live this week as well, so I can't really say much about it. So, but
we certainly won't see Captain Underpants Drew Gulak do it.
Probably, well, we know.
We know Hideo Itami's coming.
Yeah,
so
Hideo Itami.
That could work. I mean, that could work. Yeah. Hideo Itami coming up and demanding respect, and then kicking Enzo More in the mouth.
Yeah. Kneeing him in the mouth.
Kneeing in the mouth.
Times.
Yeah.
Go to sleep on him 4 times. Put him out for a while. I like that. I like that idea.
That's an idea. Yeah, that's an idea. But anyway. And then another set of a kickoff show that is, I think that is tossed on the last minute as well. Fashion Police, Breezango versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Okay, let's start.
Toss Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn a bone. They win. They do whining so well, both of them.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon has something against us. Wow. Why don't you call 1-800-WA? Maybe you'll get a ambulance to take you to the hospital, for Christ's sake.
Okay. Anyone else? One Wing Angel.
Well, I missed the match, but I don't know. Their story itself, I don't know how deep the backstage story goes, but they've certainly made it seem like it was real.
I think there's more to it than they're letting out.
Yeah. Well, there's part of the rumor roundup, I guess, from Cage Side saying that Sammy still has the heat and Kevin's is gone, but who knows?
Yeah.
That could be why Sammy got his ass kicked on SmackDown.
Yeah.
At the end. I mean, literally.
Yep. And Owens did his, chicken shit.
Did his
run away
thing. Yep. And he's facing Randy Orton next week.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Could be. Don't know whether it's going to be worthwhile or not. Because, considering that pairing of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens looked like it has potential. Just that I don't really like the whole backstage stories and rumors about how they're getting heat. Hopefully that they could have resolved the whole thing quickly as possible. Because even though a little bit amount of story from back, even the amount of controversy backstage could generate a lot of public interest and whatnot. It's just that sometimes bad publicity sometimes can affect everyone. So just hoping that they can do better.
This is a case of, not all publicity is good.
Mm-hmm. Because I always stand by the point that any kind of publicity is good publicity, good or bad, because it gets you talking about it. So that sometimes there's stuff that you feel uncomfortable talking, or feeling that maybe I shouldn't really talk about it. Anyway, those were the 3 kickoff shows, as quick as possible. Well, let's move to one of the matches that Taker might need a drool bucket for some reason whatsoever that I do not know. Shield versus the New Day. Taker, do you want the drool bucket now, or do you want the...
Let Angel go first.
Okay, you have the drool bucket first? Okay.
Well, this is actually good because I, in my early morning, try and get my brain activated here, I was watching that match. And when I was watching it live, I wasn't feeling it a lot. But when I watched it again today, I was a lot more into it, and I thought there was some really solid near falls, and I really liked the moment where Big E and Roman Reigns kind of stood up to each other. That was really good for me as a Big E fan. I thought that kind of, helped bump him up as really a solid performer, because when you stand up to Roman Reigns and you get that kind of like energy, that's good. As far as the finish, I think the finish went right. It was a pretty cool little. I hadn't seen them do a top rope triple power bomb yet, so that was pretty solid.
Okay.
But I think they went with the right finish on that, and New Day looked strong. They had, I don't know, I think on both sides of the fence, pretty good showing.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Lepsaxon.
Yeah, what can I say? I love the match, of course, because I love both the New Day and the Shield. And I was happy to see the Shield back as a unit. They gelled right in for me again. So it felt to me almost as if they hadn't been away. It was the same kind of feel that their old matches had for me. And I think both teams looked great. I'm very happy with the finish, of course. That top rope.
Either way.
I probably I would have been happy either way, because as I said, I like both teams, and it was a fun bout, and I think it was the right match also to get the show started, to get everyone invested.
Agree. Taker, are you done with the drill bucket now?
I watched the match, and I mean, it was nonstop action, which those are the kinds of matches I like. Yeah, you had the moment where Big E was standing up to Roman Reigns, but you could see neither one of them were afraid. It was just like who was going to crack first, and usually it's Big E, because he starts just dancing and crap, and that's what gets him in trouble. We all see that where he starts doing the hip thing.
Yeah.
It was a solid match from beginning to end. The ending, the finish was perfect. I marked the hell out for the triple power bomb off the top rope. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. That was just, wow. Surprised the ring didn't explode. That would have made it even better.
Oh, that's true.
And like Lepsaxon said, it's
I'm glad it was on Kofi, too. I don't know why. It just made me happy.
I think he's about the only one that could actually take it and take it right.
For sure.
He got one before.
I think he got one. I think he took a couple. I think he took a couple of them. And I think he's the best at selling from the three people.
He is.
He's the best at selling it.
He's one of the greatest sellers that WWE has. There's several. Even though, going back to the pre-show real quick, Enzo can sell.
Oh, yes.
That's what keeps him around. Unfortunately.
That's true. Your mileage may vary on that one. I guess so. Okay.
But I marked the hell out for that triple power bomb off the top rope. I'm like, oh my God.
Of course. I think it's a spot that they rarely use, I think. A triple power bomb.
I don't ever remember one off the top ropes ever. Do you, Lepsaxon?
Nope, definitely not. No, I think that was the first time they ever did that.
And I mean, to see them working as a unit, it's like, yeah, they were separated and on singles paths for 3 years. But the first time you saw them work together in a match, it's like they never stopped working together.
Yep,
They still have chemistry. They still have flow. They work so well as a unit.
Yes.
It's going to be sad when they break it up again. Damn it.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting conversation in its own, like who initiates, or if they do it, as a unit,
or if they do it like on good terms. Okay, we're gonna
exactly
something like that. It's a feel of the Rise of the Three Kingdoms for me, Romance of the Three Kingdoms actually for me. If they do that, so in a sense, it could go on a nice note. Although rumor has it that if they are going to break up the Shield, it would be Ambrose who initiated it. So
that was my thought too. I figured. I don't know.
Well,
Makes the most sense.
We'll see what happens. I mean,
we'll see there. But I don't know if anyone noticed this, but I did. It was in the previous Shield, thing, the Shield group. Ambrose and Rollins did most of the talking, whereas in this one, Roman's doing most of the talking. Roman, people say, "Oh, Roman can't cut a promo." Roman can cut a promo now. He's gotten a lot better. I don't know if lepsaxon has noticed it, but I have. And I think
I definitely have. Yeah.
I think the schooling with John Cena helped greatly with that.
And they're not making him go out there by himself for 15 minutes. That's just hard to do. I don't care who you are, and especially to keep people, enthralled for that long, and then going.
Hell, Enzo could go an hour if you let him.
Well, he could, yeah. And who knows how much of the script
I would let him.
And Roman Reigns' company, he's going to keep to his script, and that's kind of what was the downfall. Now, I think they're giving him more leeway, and they're just letting him get right to the point, which is why he's that kind of intense person. That's what you need.
Yeah.
And I think he's also feeding off this feel of unit. He's feeding off the energy of the two people beside him as well, which helps him. Because I remember even when he had a few things to say in the previous Shield run, those promos weren't that bad. And when he was on his own, when he only had to rely on himself, he seemed to be at some point even a little bit insecure. But now with his friends by his side again, he seems just so much more secure, so much more relaxed, and so much more of a badass, the badass that he should have been in his singles run.
Agreed. Well, like I said, he started to come out of his shell, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, is after WrestleMania. That 12-minute that was supposed to be only 5, and he went 7 minutes longer promo after WrestleMania. This is my yard now promo. That's all he said.
That was
the crowd in the palm of his hand, and every time he raised the mic, they got loud, and he'd take it down. They quiet up. Every time he started working the crowd, you could see he was having fun with it. That's the key. He was having fun, and that's what I'm seeing now. Is he's having more fun doing the promo work. That's a key, because you have to believe in it somehow. Even as a face, you have to believe somewhat in what you're talking about.
Yep, agreed. I mean, okay. Here's what I think, though. This is, to me personally, I think this is just a little bit shy of a match of the year candidate for me personally, in my opinion.
No, well, yeah, just a little shy. My match of the year candidate. My match of the year candidate. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Count in our last woman standing match, NXT. Nikki Cross and Asuka. Oh my God.
There's a lot, but yeah. I mean, here's one that could be shy off from my match of the year candidate. It started a little bit slow. It just took a little bit to get going, and that cost it, I think, in my opinion. I believe so. I think. But when it finally did, you see all the wild and chaotic things that you can expect out of a 6-man tag match, and especially from these two. The New Day is going to bring it. The Shield is going to bring it. Toss in these two, and well, you got a recipe for a great and awesome match. The build-up was like they one-up each other. When the Shield brings up momentum, New Day stops them. New Day builds up momentum, Shield stops them. Those kind of things. The spot of the Super Triple Powerbomb was excellent. Suitable conclusion to what, to me, I think an explosive tag match. I think it kicked off the show on the right foot. Even with even if you missed out on the kickoff show, I think this one was a great way to start off your Survivor Series experience. And then we move on. We move quickly on to the 5-on-5 women's division, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown match. Hmm.
Go ahead.
Even remembering it, to me, I think. Okay, here's I'll be quick about it. This was good. It isn't without its flaws though. Because you know what happens when you have rapid fire eliminations. You see sloppiness, you see a little bit of off timing. I saw that particularly during when Alicia Fox was facing off against Naomi. I don't know whether it was from slight nervousness or just miscommunication against each other. And the booking also, I think it was questionable. I mean, okay, someone might agree on me on this one, but who actually eliminated Becky Lynch the first? Who thought it was a good idea to eliminate Becky Lynch, the captain of SmackDown, first? And just going into about 2-3 minutes on a show, who even I was thinking, what's going on? And now SmackDown is short of one person. So yeah.
Well, they got even with the Nia Jax elimination.
Oh,
she didn't make the 10 count.
No, yeah, she didn't make it, but yeah, that's another one of the questions. That's one of the more questionable bookings because eliminating Bayley and Becky Lynch early was, well, you could argue a lot about it. Some of them saying that, oh, that means that just Bayley and Becky Lynch cannot showcase their full potential back in Survivor Series. No, I think it was the best option, even if in all hindsight they are among the best workers in the match, both Bayley and Becky Lynch. Argue what you want against it, but everyone, I think fan side opinion says that Bayley is the best wrestler in Raw and Lynch is the best one on SmackDown. So I don't know about you guys. You want to chime in?
Go ahead, Angel.
I don't know about Bayley.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I've always been kind of, if so on her, but
Mm-hmm.
I know she can put on a good match. That's
Mm-hmm.
not to be debated. But
Okay.
As far as this match goes, I think it was a shock. It was probably for a shock factor to get Becky out first. I don't know if it was right or wrong, but I was annoyed by it, as I think most were.
Mm-hmm.
But and Tamina getting a few eliminations, I don't know if they're trying to give her some clout or what, but there are more people on SmackDown that could use some of the rubs. And then I think the finish was right. Asuka should have. I think everyone knew it was going to come down to her versus numbers, and she was going to pull it off. So, in my opinion, that was the right move of all the decisions they made. But I don't know. Those two quick eliminations, I agree, were questionable.
Okay.
Lepsy?
Well, I think that, for one, I think that Bayley and Becky are amongst the best wrestlers of the women's division in general. So that definitely is. I was surprised. I was very surprised that Becky got eliminated first, and it definitely served the shock factor, as One Wing just said. But overall, I think the storytelling was fine, and I liked the show-off between Tamina and Nia. And I would love to see these two square up again. I know Tamina isn't the best worker, and I know Nia is still very green, but I think it still could make for a compelling match to have these two square up. So just to see them face one another, that was pretty cool. When that Asuka won, no surprise there. I think the biggest surprise for me was Becky going out first and Alicia surviving as long as she did. But other than that, the match for me was mostly predictable.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, Becky going out as fast as she did, that was a jaw dropper for me. I was like, and I also said, I know someone's going to be upset. I'm sure they're listening right now.
Of course he is. If you're listening,
Yeah, just
Speculation.
Booker better. No. That's a whole
anyway,
other story.
go ahead.
Anyway,
Mhm.
Oscar winning, my goddess, my empress. Yes, I was like, we all knew that that's how it was going to be. There was speculation that she was going to lose a streak there, and it's like, I was like, no, it ain't time yet.
Yeah.
They'll pick the right person, and the time will come.
Mhm.
So, give the person the rub that they need.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I mean,
Good match in my opinion, though. I mean, getting real quick back to New Day and Shield. You brought up something that I failed to mention.
What?
Every good match has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
And those 6 put on a great match with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Mhm.
You don't see
Well,
that. You don't see that hardly anymore.
Exactly. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't
It's
see.
not that hard to book a match like that either. Damn it!
Basically, you just toss in 2 wrestlers in and say, "Okay, you're gonna go over. You're gonna lose. This is the story. Go, do what you do best. That's it."
Let them set the match. Let them plan the match.
Yeah.
One of the greatest match callers in history was Ric Flair. Because he would listen to the crowd.
Okay, this
The
is
crowd will
not.
tell you what they want.
Yeah, this is not what. Okay, this doesn't really feel right. Let's change it. This doesn't really feel right. Okay, this is what we wanted. Let's stick to it, or amp it up a little bit just to give them more excitement. Yeah,
it's like when he would when he'd have the matches with Sting, chop, chop, chop in the corner, a little bit of rough buzzing around, running around in the ring, get him back in the corner. He would tell Sting, "No, sell my chop," and he'd start hitting him, and Sting would just stand there, and you would hear the crowd go nuts. This is what needs to be done more and more. But anyway, I digress. I go on these tangents, guys. I'm sorry.
If you don't really notice, Taker loves to do tangents, but his tangents usually are.
Old school. Anyway.
Oh, there's a shot.
I forgot to do that. Anyone who's listening, if you have an alcoholic beverage anywhere, if you listen to Taker going old school or this is old, or any one of us mentioning it, take a shot. Let's see what happens if you get drunk.
Let's see how many listeners we can get drunk today.
Yeah. we
get drunk.
You guys are 21, so.
Yeah, we are legal to drink now in the United States anyway. Elsewhere, I don't know. I don't know what the drinking age is elsewhere.
It's the same, 21. Okay.
Japan is 21. What is it in England?
I have no idea. I'm in Germany.
You're in Germany? I'm sorry.
I guess,
okay, what's
I
the
guess
drinking
correctly. She's in Germany.
What is legal drinking age in Germany?
For softer alcohol like beer, I think it's 16, and for the harder stuff, it's 18.
Oh my!
Yes, I've been to Germany when I worked for Deutsche Lufthansa AG.
Okay, and
I went to Zeeheim. Yes. A Bitburger. Yes. The only difference is their beer is a little bit warmer than what I'm used to here in the States. But
it's warmer and it's more potent.
We love our.
It's stronger, and I tell you what, you get about an inch and a half head over the top of the glass that don't fall down.
It gives you a mustache.
Am I telling the truth, Lepsy?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I guessed it. Well, I cheated on it because I know that from the Twitter post you are from Germany because you promote WXW over there. Number one.
WXW and WGP, which is the local indie.
Yes, I guess that.
I apologize for that.
Taker never checks his Twitter account. Only when he wants to go, MDS, are you here? MDS! Fuck, no. Don't do this to me again.
That's 2 weeks in a row, buddy. I've done it to you once, and only because the time changed here in the States. I've been.
Okay.
Don't make me say it, man. Don't make me say it. Adam Cole.
Tip jar incoming. If you say it, tip jar is incoming.
I haven't said it, so you can't charge me.
You're just baiting it out.
Oh,
Okay. Quick point. I'm not shitting the match. I think it's a good match, story wise, start to finish. It's just that it's not a match. It's not a match without nitpicks or flaws and anything. Becky Lynch getting eliminated first, Bayley getting eliminated early was questionable. Who thought that would be the best option? Who knows? But yeah. But on the other side of the coin, eliminating two of your best workers allowed Asuka to be put on the forefront. Because when those two are out, you immediately guess that Asuka is going to get the biggest pie from the whole tray. So she did. She fended off two heels in the form of both Natalya and Carmella up to the end, and leaving her as the last woman standing who survived Survivor Series on the 5-on-5 match, bringing victory to Raw and technically actually bringing them up to 2-0 by this time. Then moving off from that, we moved on to, I think, one of Taker's most favorite matches of the year. The Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, versus United States Champion, Baron Corbin. You need another puke bucket, my friend?
No, I threw up a little bit in my mouth, though.
From the drool bucket to the puke bucket.
Yeah. We're going off on one extreme with the drool bucket to the other extreme with the puke bucket.
I can't stand The Miz, and that's well known. But I do have some happy news when we talk about Raw.
I think you were a little bit too excited, too giddy on that one when we touch on that one.
Believe me, I had to make, give my condolences to someone.
Anyway, okay. Angel, do you have anything to say in this one?
I kind of tuned out during this match, I got to be honest. But, I liked Corbin. I don't know. He's still kind of bland. I think he could have used more time in NXT. But I think this match pretty much went as it should have. He should have won. The End of Days, I think, is one of the best finishers they have right now, and I think it's very well protected. And I like that it kind of just came out of nowhere, and that was the match. And that's kind of how it should have been. That's my opinion on it. I know that they're writing The Miz off, but I don't know. I think it just it was a quick get SmackDown back into it, have Corbin look strong at the end, and put over the End of Days. So that was my 2 cents on it.
Well, they gotta do something to save Wiley Corbin's character.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And he, I like that his little promo at the end when he said, my hand is up and your mouth is shut. That was a good line. I'm sure it was scripted, but I thought that was really cool. I thought,
yeah, that was
the phrase, and your mouths went shut. I love that. Oh, way to turn Miz's own phrase on himself. Good.
Yep, exactly.
Standing over him on top of it,
And I do love that phrase from The Miz. It always gets heat, and he always delivers it at the right time. I have to say.
The funniest one he ever delivered, that line the funniest one is when he said it to Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah,
I
forgot about that.
I gave Miz props on that one because for the first time, someone actually shut Paul Heyman's mouth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the walrus anyway.
Oh God, Fräulein Lepsy, do you have anything?
Boring Corbin.
That's a new one.
I like that.
that has actually been my name for him ever since he started out in NXT. I've always been bored by Corbin, and I still am. So I pretty much tuned out. I mean, I love to hate The Miz simply for his sleazy character, but I was actually sorry to see him lose. because
I'll bring
Corbin
that point
is
up later.
one of the characters, one of the people that I dislike the most.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
moving on, please.
Okay. Taker, I think I know where you want to start off with this. This is a match that happened. Is it? Is it or is it not?
It
Oh,
is,
no.
but the thing about it is that in my opinion, the right person won. They needed to do something to kind of save Corbin's character
Mhm.
because he's having trouble getting over right now, and he was, constantly losing by, Wile E. Coyote's circumstances, making stupid mistakes or stupid moves.
I mean, okay.
They
That's the
made it
best.
look like a fool. I kept saying I'm waiting for him to have the sign that says, "Oh shit, what do I do now?"
Probably. It'll make him go over. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, here's the thing though.
But
To me,
there again, you got the Miz who could sell like crazy.
Yep.
So
Given credit what credit's due, he's
I will
excellent.
give he's an excellent Miz is an excellent performer. He just gets he attacks that nerve in the back that makes my legs shake whenever he talks.
Okay, buddy.
The parent nerve, I call it.
Okay. I mean, okay, here's my thought on this one. It's an interesting match because there's the dichotomy where I think it looks 50-50 in the sense that neither one of these two actually control the matches for long periods of time. They're just exchanging the advantage. Okay, now I have the advantage. No, you have the advantage, and I have the advantage, and then it switches back and forth from that one. And initially, I think Corbin going on an attack to Maurice. I think that kind of made Corbin seem to be a heel in the process and made Miz a little bit of a babyface. So, and again, considering the fact that the Miz is actually getting cheers a little bit, even house shows, I think. So there's that. Corbin scoring the victory, I think it exactly what he needs. He's still boring. He's still Wile E. Corbin, for that matter. Because let's draw up a quick history. He was neutered by Dave Meltzer. He got his nuts cut off by TakersMinion's wife. He got burned by both Nikki Bella and John Cena. He cannot decide whether he wanted to cash in on either Cena or Jinder Mahal when it mattered. So his decision making is the worst in the roster. But on the flip side of it, he didn't momentum in a worse way, and losing to the Miz doesn't really damage him. Going into Survivor Series, going out from it, of course, we know what happened on Raw, so we'll touch on that when we touch on that. Hopefully, that I think that if they wanted to build Baron Corbin's character, now I think they could have to help him build up on his win. So it's a match that happened. If you missed it, it's fine. It's a good toilet break where you want to go. I mean, I didn't really put this match much of an emphasis, but yeah, it's more or less a match that happened. It's decent. Doesn't really make you remember it back in T-1 day. Those kind of things. Anyway, after that we have after that, of course, that means SmackDown was going on to 1-2, getting off one victory against 2 on Raw. Moving on to another champion versus champions, Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar versus SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Usos.
Another great tag team this year, the Usos.
Yep.
They came out, and this is another one of those matches that had a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of glad we didn't see Cesaro get his teeth busted again.
Yeah,
I know.
But watching that match, I mean, it started out slow, kind of like the New Day and Shield match. Because it's like the last was they kept harping on the fact that, well, last year at Survivor Series, these were the last 2 tag teams that were remaining. Blah, blah. So what? So what? So by beating that dead horse several times, was telling me that the Usos were going to go over, in which they did.
Yeah,
and I'll say right now, my tag team of the year, straight, legit tag team, 2 people, not a faction of 3 like the New Day, is the Usos. Again.
Okay, understandable.
They are calling great matches right now as heels. They're calling fantastic matches.
Not to mention their promos too. They have been just on
They have
fire.
been on fire. Yes, they have been on fire with their promos.
They cut an excellent promo before the match even happened. So
yeah, and they're coming out acting like street gangsters, and it's working for them. It's absolutely working, and they're starting to get the face pops now, which is going to be strange. How can when stuff starts getting over and works really well, the crowd will change their allegiances. Who did they dislike more? I think Cesaro and Sheamus or the Usos. Well, Cesaro and Sheamus got more
booze,
heel heat than the Usos did. I'm seeing an organic turn happening here.
Well, I think in a sense of that, I don't know about both Angel and Lepsy, but to me, I personally think that going into the match, because we know both of these two are heels, and I don't know pseudo heels or tweeners for the Usos. Sorry, but eventually you want to like one side and you want to hate on the other side, and I think naturally the bar is going to get all the heelish things going in.
Well, because of what happened the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the whole how to say it, even with the whole excellent promo that the Usos pulled off. And of course, the bar actually isolated Jimmy Uso first, keeping him away from his brother. So they're doing the numbers games on that one. So that's another heelish move. I think that made the match.
It was a solid match from beginning to end, though.
Yeah, it should have been better. To me, I think it should have been better. Because considering the pedigree of the Usos now and the ability of both
family. The Anawai family.
Yeah, the Anawai family. Considering the pedigree of both the Usos now and the ability of both Sheamus and Cesaro for more, I think. But yeah.
Cesaro's always been good.
Cesaro's always been good. Sheamus has always been he's always been the decent one, I think, with the partnership of Cesaro. Sheamus looked at he can back it up a little bit more now because he has someone to look up to. So
I think the one that's been carrying that team, believe it or not, has been Cesaro.
I cannot argue with you on that one.
He's been carrying that team since the beginning. Who disagrees with me here?
I don't disagree. I give Sheamus a lot of the credit for getting the heat on the team, though, which is...
I forgot about this one. I forgot about this one. Who actually hated Sheamus's hair when he came out on that one?
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
I forgot that he has that kind of hair, but I was going, what the hell is that kind of hair that you're sporting, Sheamus? You're trying to be...
He looked like a freaking redheaded skunk.
You know who reminded me with that kind of hairdo? You're going to love this. The Red Rooster, Terry Taylor.
Oh, God, please. Well, I did hear you look stupid, Chance, so...
I think that's a given with Sheamus's hair.
Yeah.
Although although image-wise he looks better than back then when he started off, but...
Yeah, wanting to have the Captain Jack Sparrow look with the beads and shit in his...
That was the day after WrestleMania 31 in San Jose, California. He's when he came out with that look, and it didn't take us maybe a minute or two at that in Smarkamania to start that chant up.
You look stupid.
Yeah.
Quack, 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 quack. You look stupid.
It was real quick.
Well, yeah. Are you not entertained? I mean...
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I am entertained with your stupid hair.
Uh-huh.
But okay, props given where props is deserved. Both teams played out the finish of last year's elimination, where they were the final two teams involved, and I think the right team went over on this one. Of course, you don't want to pull off the rocket on both the Usos' back. So
No.
Yeah.
No.
No,
so there is that.
not with the momentum that they've gained lately.
Correct. Exactly. Correct.
I
And
mean,
going
their series of matches with the New Day. I mean, Jesus.
Oh, it just got better and better every time. It was
Each match got you're not
unbelievable.
kidding. Each match got better.
it does
Mm.
because
And
we
I
thought
think
that.
Oh,
Go
I
on.
was kind of moving on to say I think for this match specifically that I'm glad it was Cesaro and Sheamus. I think if it was Ambrose and Rollins, it would have kind of been more of a high-flying spot fest, and I like that they kind of turned it into I don't know. It was a better story of a match, I think, with Cesaro and Sheamus instead. Plus, we got New Day Shield.
I agree.
I think the title change was right.
I agree.
But
For Survivor Series, definitely yes.
Yes, I agree.
I agree with you on the spot fest. I think the match served its purpose. It was a good match. It was a solid match. And I agree, the right team won.
yeah, I agree on that too.
Confession time. I actually didn't mind Sheamus's hair.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was surprising, but I thought, okay, well, he's going to new lengths. I quite like the hawk on him, and I actually did like the Captain Jack Sparrow version of Sheamus as well. I have to admit it was refreshing. I have to say, and also the mohawk. It's such a unique look that it's really refreshing. I mean, I know he's the palest of the whole roster, but still, he really stands out now. So, and with the white tips on his mohawk, it was silly, but in a good way for me.
Okay. Fair enough.
I guess I can accept that.
Fair enough.
I didn't like the Captain Jack look with the beads and stuff. No, I just didn't appreciate it. No.
Okay.
It just didn't look. It was like, oh, now they're doing. He wants to be a pirate of the Caribbean. Okay. Where's his ship?
Okay. Probably moored somewhere off in Ireland. Who knows? But anyway, I digress on that one. Like I said, solid match. Doesn't really. You could remember it. You can watch it. I mean, compared this to both Shield and New Day, I think obviously Shield and New Day will trump this one, but not this one doesn't really drop far off from that.
And it's not, in the Shield New Day doesn't trump it by much.
Yeah, doesn't trump it by much. There's the comparison that there's just a little bit of difference with these two. But anyway, from that, of course, that means SmackDown gets 2, Raw gets 2. Moving nicely along with the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss versus SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte. Of course, we have the David in Alexa Bliss versus the giant Goliath, which is Charlotte. And you thought she won't bring the Pixie Hulk. Oh, of course she brings the Pixie Hulk with a little bit of Possum and a little bit of Code Red. So there's a lot of things coming here. But anyway, Lepsy, do you want to start off on this one?
What can I say? To be honest, I don't remember much about this match. I don't know if it was tiredness or if it was the quality of the match, but I don't really remember much.
Okay.
So, sorry, I can't really help out here.
All right. Okay. Never. It's okay. Don't worry.
No problem.
Angel, do you have anything to add on this one?
I think it served its purpose. I don't think there was anything outstanding to me. It went, I think, about 15 minutes. Charlotte, I think she did a lot to make it a solid fluid match because I still think Alexa has a lot to improve in the ring. But I don't know, the right finish was made. Alexa looked like her leg was about to snap, in that figure 8. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She's so short. I just was like, I can't believe her knee is bending that way. But I don't know. I think that's mostly my opinion on it. I wasn't too interested in this match of all the matches, but you know, I was in sports entertained, I guess, and I think Charlotte winning was the right call on that, because they're pushing her up far, and I don't know who's going to be the one to take her down. But now that she's got this win, I think that'll be good to see who her next feud is.
Taker, let's start off with you then.
It was a good match. I'm not going to say it wasn't. It was one of Alexa Bliss's better matches, but she wasn't the one calling the match. Charlotte was. Because you could see it. There were times you could actually see Charlotte telling Alexa, let's do this, let's do this. She's picking up the skill that her father had, which is great to see. And right now, like Angel said, you can't not take the rocket off of Charlotte's back right now. You know, Alexa's had her monster, quote unquote, monster run, where she's basically beat everybody most of the time with shenanigans, but I digress on that. Alexa still needs some work. She's great. She's pretty decent at a promo. She's getting better in the ring. Seeing her throw a temper tantrum in the ring is getting old. You know, she doesn't get the 3 count. She's getting mad at the referee. You know, I'm getting a little bored seeing that. Sorry, stars, but it is what it is. You know?
Okay.
It was a solid match, though. The right person went over. They're cashing in big time on the goodwill with the book and the 30 for 30 thing and Rick's health.
Absolutely.
That is, and they're doing it in the right way.
Which is surprising considering the history that WWE is getting in the past with whatever goodwill that they have.
Well, you look at how they handled the whole Reed Flair thing with Charlotte.
Oh,
that was a total. Pardon my French. That was a total fucking abortion.
Yeah,
they fucked that all up from the get go. This time they're doing it right. I mean, we all saw. I don't know. Well, I saw, but I'm pretty sure we all saw the actual look on Charlotte's face when Rick walked out in Charlotte when she won the title. She had no idea he was there. How they kept that under wraps, I'll never know.
But they did.
You see her actually say, "I didn't know you were here." The tears both of them were shedding were not fake; they were real.
Well, just her running up, like she just turned around like, and just ran
running up the ramp like "Daddy, Daddy."
Like a little girl just finding her dad's home. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, they've been working this angle beautifully.
I agree. I mean, but okay, I digress on the whole goodwill thing. The match, surprisingly, was a much better match than it initially looked on paper. To me, exactly. The heel work by Bliss was superb. Her feigning scaredness when Charlotte was going up, was starting to look like she's picking up steam, and Alexa Bliss looking like she's just seen the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, for that matter. That was great as usual, because what most flack we can give for her wrestling ability, she picks it up in spades. She provides in spades by her character work as well as her story, giving out a story by her expressions in the ring. And Charlotte did a phenomenal job by making Alexa Bliss look like she can actually have a little bit of chance to beating Charlotte. Because of course the biggest story being that, oh shit, Alexa Bliss is a little bit too short to box with Charlotte. But I think it was nice, and especially I love the spot where Charlotte delivered the natural selection out of nowhere, and Bliss kicked out, because not many people kick out from the natural selection. If you guys remember.
No, it's very protected. Yeah.
It's very protected, so not many people actually kick out from the natural selection. It took Charlotte a figure 8 on on Alexa Bliss to get the win. Correct result whatsoever. Both women came out looking strong, even if the fallout from Survivor Series showed that Alexa looked dejected when she when she lost. And of course, they Becky and Charlotte rubbed it in when they walked past her doing the promo on her phone. So there's that. Loved it. Like I said, much better match than I thought it would be. So there's that. But then, considering that we're going 3-on-3, 2 on Raw with 3 on SmackDown, that means we both really actually know what the result's going to be with the next matchup. WWE Champion AJ Styles versus Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. Of course, we know. I'll go first and say, of course, we know that Brock Lesnar is going to win. How Brock Lesnar won is a different, complete mystery altogether. On that note, this was an excellent match. You can see actually that Styles actually busted his ass just to make more, just to squeeze every last drop of whatever Lesnar's above average match can be. Because we've said this time and time again, AJ Styles has the ability to milk out every last bit of your ability to both him and his opponent's abilities. If he could milk that out of Jinder Mahal, he can especially milk that out of Brock Lesnar, and I think that happened here. He took big bumps. He also utilized his agility and timing to work in a few spots that made me a little bit question whether, I think AJ Styles has a chance of winning against Brock Lesnar, which you could go to, okay, this is going to be a 50-50, I guess. But I don't know. That's just me. Angel, do you have anything?
I mean, this to me was the match of the night. I know that a lot of people like the Shield and New Day, but this was just absolute pro wrestling at its finest. The match started, it looked like it was just going to be another Brock Lesnar suplex fest, but and I even put, we have a prediction thing. I thought it was only going to go maybe 7-8 minutes, but it went even longer than that. I thought Styles in the beginning, he put it out. He made it seem like he's way overmatched, and then brought himself slowly back up, and then all of a sudden he's got himself in the calf crusher. I'm sorry, and I was floored. I was actually starting to think, wow, would they really do this rub? But it wasn't going to happen. But when he makes you believe that he can do it, that's how you know. It was just phenomenal. Well, no pun intended, or pun intended. I don't know. But
what the hell?
Yeah. I like, I figured there would be a numerous where he would somehow get out of the F5, where he'd have him up on his shoulders and he would maneuver himself out. Every time was exciting to me.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I knew that Brock was going to get the win. AJ is right now my absolute favorite. I, in a personal level, would have liked him to win, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. And I know what they're doing with Brock. He was going to win. So I guess in that sense, the right guy won. But he really sold for AJ, which is a huge rub of respect coming from Brock Lesnar. And in that sense, I think, I don't know, it was definitely well-deserved of being a great match. And we're all very thankful it wasn't Jinder Mahal. So I'll end with that.
I mean,
yeah.
I have nothing to say to that. I think the laughter alone proves that. Lepsy, have you watched this, or do you?
I have watched this. I woke up for this one again, I guess.
Okay.
How good is AJ Styles? I have to say, wow, that was my jaw was dropped.
Okay.
It was like, whoa, what a great match. He got the best out of Brock. I think I was surprised also how well Brock worked, because I mean, in the past, he's been guilty of half-assing some of his matches. He didn't do that here. He was really good, and he sold his knee, his supposedly injured knee, and yeah, and as you said, at times it seemed like maybe AJ has a chance to pull it off. Maybe he can pull off the upset and win. So that was pretty much, yeah. From an emotional point of view, I think Shield versus New Day was my match of the night. But from the wrestling point of view, I think it was AJ versus Brock.
Okay. Love it. Taker, my friend, my brother, my buddy. Do you have anything?
That match, we actually got to see working Brock,
which is a godsend.
Which is a rarity. Which is an
Exactly.
absolute rarity. He came out in his working shorts versus his, oh, I'm here to collect a check.
Yep.
Okay.
But,
Considering the fact that we almost got that, I think, with working Brock, okay, I'm here to collect my check, Brock, when he faced off against Jinder Mahal.
That's what we would have got. He would have been 16 German suplexes and an F5.
Oh,
He probably would have suplexed the Singh brothers right out of their freaking shoes.
oh man, he would have suplexed them outside of the ring. Yeah.
No, he would have F5'd them outside the ring out of their shoes. A la Michael Cole.
Okay.
R.I.P. shoe.
Big shoe. Okay.
But no, great match. Selling work that Brock did was great. Him walking out of the ring and, limping after the match was over. I mean, perfect. Absolutely perfect. The promo on the Fallout video, backstage from Paul Heyman, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's not every day Paul Heyman shows respect to someone.
Yeah.
But we all knew Brock was going to be the one to win because he's being fattened up to be the sacrificial cow to Roman at WrestleMania, as far as we know.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Considering the fact that
I know lepsaxon will be all over it when it happens.
I'm more of a Seth Rollins girl, actually.
What's that?
I'm more of a Seth Rollins girl, actually.
Oh, you must have really loved WrestleMania 31 then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember coming in the room and she's like, you were like a giddy 15-year-old. Oh my God.
Okay. I mean, okay. I did say that the Shield New Day match was a little bit shy of Match of the Year award or Match of the pay-per-view.
Match of the Year.
Yeah, I said Match of the Year. This one was my favorite match of the night for the pay-per-view. I already called it back in the breakfast show, and I am glad I stuck up to it because it all depended on whether Brock Lesnar is in working mode or in his I am here to collect my check mode. And I am so glad that the working Brock Lesnar came out because we all know that Lesnar has a tendency to perform up to the level of his opponent. When you give him a decent opponent, he'll work decently. When you give him a great opponent, he'll work great. He'll work awesome. If you give him a half-assed opponent, you get a half-assed Brock Lesnar. Something like that. And I think we're all the better for it seeing AJ Styles face off against Brock Lesnar.
I thought that was the greatest move when they put the belt on, when they put the strap on AJ. I was like, ooh, that match just got real interesting.
Because I wasn't willing to go out on that thin ass limb you did last week. Yeah.
I even said that. You said, boy, that's a mighty thin limb you're on.
I am, but I'm glad that I
supported your weight.
Yeah, because, like I said, we know that Lesnar works with the opponent that he has. and AJ Styles has the tendency to squeeze out every last drop of your ability in your body. Because if he can squeeze out, if he can actually make Jinder Mahal look like $1 million coming out from both the matchup against him and AJ Styles, he can possibly do that with Brock, and I am happy that he did that with Brock. And of course, the aftermath of it with Paul Heyman showing respect, Brock Lesnar selling the pain leg of his out of the cow crusher. That was beautiful. Good storytelling.
Best you could actually see it in his eyes too. He was turning back and he was showing. You could say he was showing respect to him, and even out of without even saying it, you could look at his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Brock looked like he'd had to work his ass off to get there. Exactly. All red faced and breathing heavy and could hardly walk. It was perfectly done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's another perfectly told story in a match.
Yes. Best match of the night, best match of the pay-per-view, in my opinion. At least up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
I would give you that. I would give it match of the night, in my opinion, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, but again, at least up to this point.
It takes a lot to impress this old fart.
Shot.
I mean, I dare say that this is an old school match. I dare say that this is an old school field match. So
Shot.
That's why I said it's pro wrestling at its finest. That's what it was.
Yes. Yeah.
Like one of our panelists said last week, curtain jerker. Booking is simple.
It really is. Yeah.
It was simple booking in this match. It was simple booking in this match. They were giving framework. You go over. You're a loser. Here's the story to tell. Go do it.
Yeah, and they do it. They did it. Anyway, like I said, best match of the night up until this point, because from the highest of highs, we go to the lowest of lows.
Well.
The 5-on-5 men's division, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown in the men's match. Very, very excited to hear what you guys are thinking about.
Oh, my.
my.
Before that, Lepsy, did you catch this? Did you manage to catch this?
Unfortunately, I did not, or luckily, I did not.
Luckily is more
depending on who you ask, probably.
Luckily is more the word.
No, I did not. I was way too tired. It was something like 4:30 or something at that point already, and I was I was almost passing out at that point. So I said, okay, watch it later, which I haven't done so far. So.
No need. You'll be disappointed, to say the least.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first since I watched it this morning.
All right, there you go.
I subjected myself to that this morning.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I didn't. He gave me such a bad case of indigestion.
I have some Tums here for you.
I ate half a bottle of that already this morning.
Oh, yeah.
I can't seem to get rid of this one. Ugh.
Okay.
Anyway, we had, what was it? Let's see. Kurt Angle, Triple H, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and who was it?
Really?
Samoa Joe. Thank you.
All right. There you go.
Took me a second to get it. Yeah, that was the Raw side. On the SmackDown side, we had Shane, Cena, Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, who actually looked like he came to work that night, and Bobby Roode, aka Ric Flair knockoff.
Okay.
That's what I call him. Ric Flair wannabe.
So, what did you think about it?
The match was a clusterfuck. That's all I really have to say about it. I mean, it had a ridiculous end. Triple H pedigreeing Kurt Angle, and I could see part of what I don't know if people saw this, but I saw it. Yes, Shane is Paul's, or I should say Triple H's brother-in-law, because he's married to because Triple H is married to Steph. And I think it came down to family.
Mhm.
He protected family from being quote unquote severely injured.
Ah, okay.
Which there is some to that.
Okay.
But in the end, it was quite ridiculous, in my own opinion.
Okay.
The match was a mess. It just had no flow. You were getting rapid fire eliminations on the SmackDown side. Yes,
Mhm.
Braun was the one doing it. Go figure.
Mhm.
I was expecting Kane to come up and distract Braun while he was in the ring and take him out of the match.
Fortunately, that didn't happen.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I would have loved to have seen it happen. That would have gave the match something worthwhile
Okay.
to think about.
Okay.
Granted, there are matches that could be made out of that group. I mean, Shinsuke, Finn Balor.
Okay.
Two former IWGP heavyweight champions
Mhm.
going at it. That's a match that needs to be made.
Mhm.
Triple H, Shinsuke.
Mhm.
There's another one. Bobby Roode, Finn Balor. There's another one. There's 4 matches that can be made out of those 10 guys. That's
I can make more, but I'll come back. I'll come back to it when I
But
get.
like I said, this match was a clusterfuck. It was a D plus match at best.
Okay. I guess. Okay. All right. Angel,
Okay.
take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. What am I supposed to say?
Here we have a match with, a lot of recent NXT call-ups and a lot of, seasoned veterans. And then you have Braun Strowman, who really didn't have time in NXT. He just they just brought him up to be as green as could be. And, he got his licks. But going down the list of things here, Samoa Joe eliminated by John Cena. John Cena, who, could have given someone a rub, eliminated by Kurt Angle. Finn Balor, eliminated by Randy Orton. Kurt Angle, eliminated by Shane McMahon, and Shane by Triple H. That just... Those are guys that really had a chance to, thrust some of these NXT soldiers into, a new realm. That all of these are former NXT champions.
Yep.
Except Braun. I don't... Yeah.
Wow.
And that, I don't know why, to me, maybe I'm just a huge NXT fan, but I thought that at least Shinsuke and Bobby Roode deserve better. Definitely Samoa Joe. I do hope, though, that becomes a Samoa Joe and John Cena match. I think that would be fantastic.
Please.
Yeah, I would really enjoy that. If that is the only thing that comes out of this cluster, I'll be okay with it. But the showdown.
Quick sidebar. Don't want to interrupt you, Angel, but quick sidebar. Legends Lover, aka my wife, just made a comment in the room that I want to touch on. She said Triple H being in the match wrecked it. If you're out of the wrestling end of it, of WWE, just stay out.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that.
He had a chance to, take a fall. I mean, at least John Cena, he took a pinfall clean as a sheet, even though it was Kurt Angle. I mean, that was it. And it was like sudden. But Triple H, it was all about him. And
it's always about him, though.
Yeah. And I know to him, it's a long story that's going to end up putting someone over maybe, but they had a chance tonight to do something. And they really, or that night, I should say, and they dropped the ball on that. It shouldn't have come down to Shane McMahon at the end. I mean, having it be, what was it, Shane, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, Triple H, and then Braun Strowman, and then Braun Strowman is just standing on the outside.
Okay.
But as far as the after the match, I enjoyed every minute of that.
Oh, I did too.
Okay.
I did too. I absolutely love that part where Triple H was trembling with fear.
Yep, it was fantastic, and it should be that way. And I don't know. I still think Braun has some work to do for in order to give himself some longer matches. But as a force, he's definitely got it.
Okay.
But anyway, I could go on this for another 40 minutes, but I'll let you guys talk.
I think if I give you the chance, I think you'd go off on a long. Which I hope we don't get to that because we have a few more things to talk about. But
all right.
Anyway, my thoughts on this. Number one, this was a match that happened. Number two, this was by far the biggest disappointment of the night. So disappointing because a match with talents like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura, even Bobby Roode for that matter. I think they came out looking worse by the booking that left. I think myself scratching my head. I scratched my head going after this, and even in the end of it all, Braun Strowman scratched his head. What the hell did I do? What the hell did I do to deserve this? And what the hell just happened?
Yeah, this was a what the hell happened match. This was more a Wile E. Coyote match than any one of Baron Corbin's, I'll say.
Here's the thing. I initially said that, okay, unless we have a good explanation about what happened, I am going to be perpetually confused by the result. Because here's the thing. Nakamura, Roode, Balor, and Joe has to be sacrificed to appease both Triple H, Angle, Cena, and Orton. Or even Shane McMahon for that matter.
Shane needs to stay out of the ring for
a while.
We're good. It's time for him to retire the ring.
I mean, even Cena looked worse, I think, from this because why bring Cena back? Why bring Cena back to the SmackDown Live division just to have his impact on the match on Survivor Series?
It was
there is one high point. There is one high point I want to touch on in this match.
Sure.
Lepsy, you listening close?
I am listening.
The German announce table got obliterated yet again.
Okay, just for that, I may have to watch.
Is this like the second or third time?
This is the second time, I think.
Yes, because they did it at TLC.
I didn't watch it live.
They got destroyed at TLC. That's correct. And I kept saying it was the first time it ever happened. I said, I know of someone that is going to be beside themselves when they find out.
And that person is you, I guess so.
Yeah,
and they did it again.
That would be the only reason for you to watch it. And it's the same person that went through the German announce table at TLC that goes through the German announce table here. Braun.
I mean, here's the thing about Braun. Here's the thing about Braun. The only thing this matchup did correctly was their usage of Strowman. Strowman looked like a beast who could only be tamed when the entire Team SmackDown banded together to put him through the table. The German announce table, that I'd say. I mean, when they have eliminated Nakamura and Roode, Nakamura and Roode came back again and helped the entire SmackDown division just to eliminate Strowman out of the equation for just a while. I mean, of course, he eliminated two people, I think, if I remember correctly.
Shinsuke was one of them.
And
I think Roode was the other.
I think so, too.
He eliminated Randy Orton, too.
Okay. So that means he eliminated three people.
Yeah.
So he was built excellently for that matter. Even after the matchup where Triple H seems to want to brag about his what had happened and Braun Strowman looked pissed off, Triple H looked like he had seen death coming from a mile away. Oh, not from a mile away, actually, a centimeter away, considering the fact that Strowman had his hands around Triple H's neck. Well, and of course, the aftermath of that being that Triple H sold the whole scared view of him perfectly, tumbling on the ring mat and then running into the screen monitors of the entrance alley. So that is one thing. But like I said, they supposedly have to do a lot better. I mean, you guys already touched upon the potential feuds that this can create. Samoa Joe versus John Cena, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura. I can chip it. We already had Kurt Angle versus John Cena coming in full circle. in that matchup.
Yeah.
And yeah, and we also had the Triple H clone versus Triple H, or as I would like to say it, the Ric Flair wannabe versus the Ric Flair student.
Yes.
We got that, but doesn't really serve
Still
as
a-
anything.
It was still a.
And the Finn Balor Shinsuke stare down was pretty solid too. But
Oh,
I don't
that's
think that'll be a feud. But
that won't be a hard sell of a match right there.
Mm-hmm. It would be, but here's the thing. Like I said, coming out from it, I was confused. I don't know what's gonna happen to Raw at that time, so I was leaving. I was leaving out, going, "What the hell did you guys just book on the final one?" It's disappointing. It's sad. It's questionable. It's a mess. You bring up these young talents. You bring up these former NXT champions just to get a rub on the grizzled, seasoned, old veterans in the form of Triple H, possibly.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, this leads to a nice segue coming into our discussion with War Games for about a few. Because to me, I feel like this is something that Triple H did just to have an apology. I am sorry, people of NXT. I wanted to get the maximum amount of rub going into Survivor Series, so I'm gonna appease you by providing you with a win for Almas. We have a trade-off there. We also crowned Ember Moon there. We also put in War Games. We also even let Lars Sullivan squish Cassius Ohno. What else do you want from me? The only thing I need is you guys just to look the other way while I terrorize, or while I start my reign of terror back again. So that's what happened. I don't know.
Are we going to have the authority again? Please tell me this is not so.
If it isn't,
Absolutely not.
If it isn't, it renders the entirety of that match even useless. Why do you want to let Braun Strowman squish Triple H with 2 power slams and choke him till death comes knocking, if not building Braun Strowman to face off against Triple H? Because if that doesn't happen,
aren't they building an angle Triple H meeting a match too?
yeah, because they wanted to build it with Triple H versus Angle. Now it is moot because Raw has won. With this one, they won 4 over SmackDown's 3. So at that point, I was going, you are significantly throwing the creative book out from the window on this one. I was confused.
And let's just move on to Raw, because I've got a lot to say about it. Stephanie did not get the total annihilation she wanted. A 4-3 win is not annihilation. I'm sorry. It's about as bad as, granted, the World Series here in the States was a great series between 2 wonderful teams, but
awesome.
In the end, in my opinion, the wrong team won.
Yeah.
Not a big Dodger fan, but I'm a National League guy. I'm a big Cub fan. That is known because I'm an old fart. Shot.
Goodness. Okay. Since we're gonna move, since I'm gonna quickly ask around the table, what do you feel about Survivor Series? Was it solid? Was it good? Was it great? Was it excellent? What grade would you want to put it? If you want to put a grade on it, quick,
B+.
fast one. B+. Okay. Angel, what do you think?
I think B+ is right on there. There were some fantastic matches on there. I mean, it ended with a thud, but then Braun Strowman destroyed Triple H, which was nice. But I think just the 3-man tag and the tag team champion matches, plus AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar, put it. It was great to see, and I was enthralled during those 3 matches. So,
okay,
B+ is right there.
All right,
B-.
B-. Okay.
Because, like I said before, old school booking would have worked a lot better in this. So it is what it is. Yep, shot.
If you guys are getting drunk, please don't blame us. Please don't. I already warned you.
We'll make this a normal part of the show. Every time I say old or old school, you can take a shot. There's 2 more for you.
Okay. I'll quickly say that this was a B+ for me. I agree. The AJ Styles Brock Lesnar propped it up. The tag team champions propped it up. Shield and New Day propped it up as well. There's just a few in betweeners that I would say it's just decent, but there's not much of those decent matches that brought it down. Even the main event, even the disappointing main event didn't really bring it down a notch or two, because in the end we still get Braun Strowman squishing people. So yay. So that happened. That quickly happened. I mean, okay. Considering that, of course, considering the fact that we're going to talk about Raw, the highlights of Raw actually was not exactly saying. There's 2 highlights I think that we can discuss on and we can talk about quickly. One would be the favorite moment of Taker's Minion's life, with The Miz losing his shiny.
Amen. There is a God. Oh yes, there is a God.
And I instantly see the old guy dancing in his room, saying that
Shot.
a 53-year-old guy now they're looking like a 13-year-old.
That's
dancing.
right. I'm marking as hard as maybe lepsaxon did when Seth won the title. Oh! But I when I watched that match, I was like, which we have to give congratulations to Roman Reigns. He is the 2nd member of the Shield to become a Grand Slam winner. But and he took out the Miz Taraj too, which they needed to be knocked out of the way. But great, it was a great match from start to finish on Monday night between those 2. Absolutely great match.
Yeah,
I loved it from start to finish. I mean, I had already heard.
It from start to finish. Miz lost the title.
I already had heard that he'd won the title, but I was like, "Oh, I got to see this. This is history for me." Yes, I know it's because Miz is going to shoot Marine 6, which I don't watch because he makes a mockery of the corps I belong to. I was a United States Marine. Sorry, we wouldn't allow someone like that in the corps.
Thank God.
Yeah. Okay.
Drill instructors would have a field day with him.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay.
But no, it was that. I was on. There is a God. I went into Paul Barrymore just saying, "Oh yes."
Okay, I told you guys that this is going to be one very favorite segment for Taker's Minion. Anyone else want to add to this?
Sorry, Sal.
Celebration of Taker's Minion. Anyone else want to add this one?
It really
there is nothing to add, really.
Yeah, there's not much to add to that. I mean, I guess they had to get the title off the Miz. Now, the only question is, will Roman hold it all the way through WrestleMania, or are they gonna have some kind of heel come in and snatch the title away?
They've got a perfect opportunity here. Okay. We already know that it's Roman supposed to face Brock for the title at Mania. We already know. Back in the old days, back in old school days, there's 2 more.
Shot.
The IC title was usually put on the next WWE champion.
Yeah.
Because remember, Ultimate Warrior had it, faced Hulk Hogan.
Yes. I was just about to bring that one. I was just about to bring that one up.
That's what that title is. It's not as much as that's what I despise about the IWC, Internet Wrestling Community today. Is it? Oh, well, that belt's nothing but a mid-card title. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is a title that is grooming the person to be WWE champion, or what they would say now.
Bret Hart,
Universal
Shawn
champion.
Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You can go down the line.
They all held that title before they held the big title. Same with the U.S. title. That's what they should be doing with the U.S. title. Right now, get it off of Corbin.
Well, that's what the U.S. title was in WCW.
Right.
It was the same thing.
Here's what you do with that title on SmackDown. Okay, you create a feud between Corbin and Shinsuke. Take the belt off of Corbin, put it on Shinsuke, start working him towards the main title with that title on him.
Working the U.S. title on Shinsuke Nakamura is just like him winning the IWGP Intercontinental when he wants to face the heavyweight back in the JPW. So it's a similar pattern. It's a similar pattern.
In WCW, when you won the United States Championship, you were automatically the #1 contender
for the big title. For the big title.
So, or you automatically got a title.
It was that way. It was that way when it was the old NWA and Crockett Promotions. It was the same way. The U.S. title always faced Ric Flair when he came to town for the big belt for the NWA Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. Of course.
Each regional promotion back then had their own form of a U.S. title. Like they had their top title, and they were always the #1 contender to Rick, or to Rev, or Harley, or to Terry Funk, or to Dory Funk Jr.
I can,
old school stuff. Go back to some old school stuff. 2 more.
I swear to God that people will be drunk by the time we're finished. Anyway, no, you don't, because you like drunk people. Number 1, you like drunk people. Number 2,
I wish I could join them.
There you go.
I have to. This is a serious tangent, but at the radio station I worked at, they used to do on the day before Thanksgiving a DUI show. So they would drink on air to show you how fast you can get to the 0.08, which I don't know how it is around the world, but if you have a 0.08% alcohol level in your blood, that's a DUI here.
Okay.
And so they would drink, and they would take a breathalyzer to get to the point where so they could show you how fast it would happen to kind of prevent drinking and driving.
Okay.
2 drinks in an hour, you're there.
Yeah.
I know how it works.
So the FCC, this was our morning show, so it was 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So these guys were drinking, and the FCC would have a field day every year. I had to, because I was in the accounting department, we had to fight legal battles like crazy. Because the FCC, they were F-bombs dropped. This was real radio, like broadcast.
Okay.
Anyway, that's just what made me think of it.
All right, anyway, we digress.
Yeah. Okay. Quick thoughts on my end on this one. I think it's. I agree, because like I said, I see the makings of Undertaker. Where am I going now? I feel like.
Well, Jerry Lawler says he's got more matches in him.
No.
Well, Jerry Lawler has more matches in him apparently, because he's on a card tonight. So
let's just hope he doesn't have another heart attack.
Yeah, he's on the WrestleCade, I think.
Yeah, he's on WrestleCade. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, I see the makings of Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan way back when he was Intercontinental Champion and Hulk Hogan was the WWF Champion back then. Yeah. I see that. I hope that Roman Reigns can still be the Intercontinental Champion coming in facing up against Brock Lesnar in WrestleMania. Because, of course, obviously, all roads, like I said, all roads lead to Roman Reigns going to WrestleMania facing up Brock. That's the golden road that WWE wants to do.
That's the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Oz is WrestleMania. Oz is WrestleMania, and
the Emerald City is.
Yeah, the Emerald City is
WrestleMania.
Okay.
Oz is Brock.
Royal Rumble is the yellow brick road.
Quick sidebar here on that match too. It was after the show was over and off the air. If you go on YouTube, you will see it. People are leaving the stadium, and Miz gets on the mic and telling those fat nacho eating people to get back in their seat. Blah blah blah. Starts cutting a promo, and the Shield meet him at the top of the ramp.
Sounds like Rick Rude.
Yeah, and triple power bomb him through the announce table.
Yeah, of course.
Which I was like,
German one.
Yes, please. Let's see that again. I put it on a loop and kept watching it. I was like,
oh
this is good.
How many times? See, here's the thing. How many times did you watch it 50. By now?
I can't get enough of Miz being put through a table. I just can't.
Sal, I'm sorry. Anyway, I digress.
But you know what people watched more was Paige.
Yeah, okay. I was just about to touch up on that one. One of the cases.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the. It's okay. It's okay. You quietly segued us to there, so I thank you for that. The first highlight that we can talk about on Raw, and it leads also nicely to SmackDown stuff. It was the debut or re-debut of Paige and 5 other people on both Raw and SmackDown. Let's talk about that. I mean, okay, quick segue to the whole Alexa Bliss promo. Alexa Bliss pulls out the promo saying that no matter what her loss, she was still the goddess of Raw. Yada 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 yada. We've heard that a lot of times. And then in comes Mickie James, in comes Bayley, in comes Sasha Banks, in comes Alicia Fox, staking their claim that they should be the one who's going to face Alexa Bliss next and take off the title. Blah blah blah. Angle comes out. Suggested that, okay, we're going to make a number 1 contention match between James, Fox, Banks, and Bayley. Fatal 4. Again. Again.
Match, but
Anyway, just a little bit after they were coming into play with the whole thing, Paige's music comes out, and boy, did I love listening to that back again. The Anti-Diva made her return to the show, and she brought in friends in the form of Tough Enough partners in the form of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville from NXT. They ran roughshod on the Fatal 4-Way, made it into a no contest. Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Paige all get their licks on all 4 of the contenders. So,
has anybody noticed?
Mm-hmm.
Paige looks like she's lost her baby fat finally. Her face is a lot slimmer. She
looked fantastic. Yeah, she looked fantastic.
She's a lot slimmer in the face, because if you look at some of her older pictures versus what you're seeing now, her face is really slimmed down.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good sign, because that means when she was out, she was using it wisely. She wasn't just, even with all the drama going on, she still was taking care of herself.
She popped positive twice for something.
Well, yeah.
I mean, okay.
I forgot about that, actually.
And I'm glad.
Totally forgot about that.
I'm also glad that she's away from Del Perro.
Yeah, he is nothing but a cancer to anyone he.
Which reminds me, I saw something here this morning on the Daily. Let me pull it up.
Let's leave it for next. Let's leave it for the end of the show, for that matter, because let's see.
Yeah. No waste time on that.
Yeah, don't waste time on that yet. If you want to waste time on that, but here's the thing.
I'm done talking, so for a little bit.
I mean, okay. For the debut for Raw women's section, I like it. I liked it a lot. I mean, a division in need of fresh faces, because of course, with the kicking of Emma and Summer Rae to the files of the future endeavored, we need a little bit more new faces. So Paige came back. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville came in. They made an immediate impact, of course. Why is the end game? Why are they together? Of course, we're gonna have to see what the answers are with the team up of Paige with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Removing my rose-tinted goggles aside, I worry for Sonya Deville. Because outside from her MMA-esque gimmick, she has nothing.
No, she don't.
Character-wise.
Not much to work on that.
Mandy Rose, I can see why they wanted to pull her in, because she has a lot of upside, even though she hasn't really made her licks in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
She has potential. She has a lot of uptick on her side. And of course, I can also go out on a legitimate limb saying that Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are roommates together, and they are pulling up. They are pulling up just because of that, number 1. And number 2, both of these girls are former Tough Enough contestants under Paige, who says yes to both of them, especially Mandy Rose.
But do you think Paige got that kind of stroke? I don't think she does. Not with the issues, after the injury and outside the ring with him.
But okay, here's the thing though. Here's the thing to argue against that. She has been away for a year and quite say a half, for that matter.
She's been gone 18 and a half months. Yeah.
Yeah. So a year and a half then. So, and outside from her nude pictures being leaked, her relationship with ADL, ADR or ADP or Dogface. I can say that.
Dogface, yeah, that'll work.
Rick Steiner would like a word.
Whose restaurant is gone broke and is closed.
Like I said, Gordon Ramsay would not have saved his restaurant.
No, he was too busy drinking and snorting up the profits. Anyway,
I mean, I'm glad that I saw Paige back again. I love to see what she brings to the table now, outside from the whole issues and the whole scandals that had happened outside of her daily life. I think she's a good wrestler. I still think she does. Like I said, she's still young, number one, and number two, she just needs guidance. And I think she does have guidance now.
who?
Paige.
But who's giving her the guidance? That's the question.
Why not Natalia? Of course, they're not on the same.
They're not on the same brand.
Yeah, of course they're not on the same brand, but at least she knows where to look for good people who loves her and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna touch on her off-screen issues and anything and whatnot. It's just that during the time she wants to come back, she's trying to keep her squeaky clean image back again. She's trying to rebuild that again, and I think that should be commended, even with the issues of her relationship issues, scandals, leaked photos.
Leaked videos of her talking about Brad Maddox.
And like I said to you, Taker, way back when we started, those things don't really prove anything. It just proves that Paige has a healthy sex life. That's it. Whatever they want. It's not the fault of her. It's the fault of the people who hacked into her photos and do that. So, but I digress. I like the segment. I'm just worried. I'm just going in enthusiastic about both Rose and DeVille. So there's that.
Well, the thing is, I said it more than once, and I'll say it again. With all the heat that she generated off screen, okay, that was out there on the internet and out there, showed up on the rumor sheets and in Kate's side and everything else. It would be best that she come back as a heel. I mean, she got when she showed up on Raw, the crowd was they weren't sure.
Popped. Yeah, the crowd
not popped. They popped, but not like you would expect for some of the returning face.
True, agree.
It was lukewarm.
But do we actually expect her to come out as a face?
Some people did.
Yeah, some people did. Personally, I think she should.
I didn't.
Yeah, personally, I think she didn't come out as a face. She should come out as just an interrupter of the proceedings, which she did. And even though if she's not a face, I can still cheer her as a tweener if she wants to build herself up as that. Because we haven't seen her go tweener. We've seen her go heel. We've seen her go face. That's it.
Well, you never see her heel right now.
Okay. Which, yeah, let's look forward to that. I mean, she's been away for about a year and a half. I think we could give her a little bit of slack. Just a little bit. And that also, okay, I guess. And that also works perfectly with, I think we can agree. I think, Angel, I think you like this one. I don't know about Lepsy. Well, Lepsy, what do you think of that? Did you actually get to watch?
She didn't watch Raw or SmackDown, I think.
I didn't watch Raw. I think though, I have hopes for Paige that being back stabilizes her life. So that would be really good for her.
And I think
that she is in a stable environment, and I think. Despite all the touring, despite all the stress that they have, I still think that Raw or the WWE roster in general, I think is a rather stable environment, which will help her. As for the two who came up with her, the two names, I like Sonya Deville, and I think she's not bad, but I think she could have used a little more time in NXT first. As for Mandy Rose, I don't think I've seen her actually. I'm way behind on NXT, I have to admit, but I don't think I've seen any of her matches so far. So she's completely new to me. She's a big question mark for me.
Okay. So I
It's
think
one of
we
those
share.
unfortunate. You had nowhere to go in NXT, so we promote you, kind of like Apollo Crews, and I don't know. It's
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke. It's a really
And Alexa, for that matter.
It's a chance to shine, like Alexa, I guess. But it's also a chance to just get into a horrible era of mediocrity. So I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I could.
Are you saying that she could possibly be the next Tamina?
Oh no, definitely not the next Tamina.
No one could be that, but
yeah, definitely not the next Tamina, my friend.
Didn't you see Tamina's quote that her and Nia had the biggest moment in the history of pro wrestling?
Well, back in Survivor Series, they were trying to be okay. These two strong.
Well, if you think about it, it was a big moment because you got
the family part,
The family part. You got the Snuka, who's indirectly related to the Anawai family, and Nia is part of the Anawai family. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I still say to me this should be with the Usos as a
that'd be great
manager and called the Samoan Mafia.
I mean, okay. This could lead off to a good segue to SmackDown a little bit because again, the highlight also being the appearance of 3 other women from NXT. We have Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Liv Morgan. Well, we have
Liv has been ready for a while.
Liv has been ready for a while, but I do believe that this is going to be a make it or break it for her. Because, again, she has been down in NXT for like 2-3 years already, and even if we see flashes of her ability back then, I'm not sold.
Yeah.
Number one, even though she has a great personality, as far as house show is concerned, and she's decent in the ring, she's close enough to being above average as well if she wants to pull it off. She doesn't really sell it off to me because coming to SmackDown, we have people can potentially say that she is another Carmella clone, which I don't see as well. Of course, both of them being one of them is dating Big Cass. The other one is former dating Enzo Amore. Yeah. Right. Okay. Based on all the 3, Ruby Riott, to me personally, I think she's the most ready, even though she hasn't got her character down pat back in NXT. Because the only thing that I remember back in NXT with Ruby Riott is that she loves to riot. That's it.
Yeah.
She's an anarchistic person.
She's a punk rocker. That's pretty much what it is.
She's a punk rock anarchist who loves to riot and just takes no shits. So, okay, I can understand that. It's just that I find it hard to believe that you are being you are kicking faces when you're the anarchist and still needing people side by side. But again, she's the best candidate going forward aside from Paige that looks ready. She just needs a lot more character development. As for Sarah Logan, of course, here's the thing though, Taker. Sarah Logan is much more ready than Liv Morgan is. Because let's not forget, she's used to be the boss of Kane when she handled the concession stand. Number one.
I forgot about that.
And number 2, she used to be the Miz's makeup artist. But on a long... on the longest stretches, I think that going in all these 6 women, the ones that I have to tread with caution is both Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville, personally for me, because in Liv's case, I think this is a make it or break it for her, number 1. And as for Sonya Deville, I think she needs a little bit more time, but I think she can do decently because I think in that sense, it's more Sonya Deville is a replacement for Summer Rae, a better replacement for Summer Rae. To me, in my personal opinion, anyways, but I digress.
I'm not sure because for me, Sonya Deville she could be another real badass woman, and Summer Rae to me never was.
Of course, but
she was a great worker. She was. I enjoyed Summer Rae's work. I remember when she was in. I remember her from one of the last tours that I was here, house shows here in Germany that I was at. I think she came out with Tyler Breeze. It was great fun, and she really did great. But Sonya Deville, I think she can be a real badass if they book her right. If they do it right, they have a gold mine in her, I think.
The problem I see with Sonya Deville though is that she's the MMA gimmick one, if I'm not mistaken.
She's the one with him. She's the one with
Shayna Baszler, is supposed to be coming up as well.
Yeah, considering
so
that you have
we'll have two MMA types. Somebody's going to have to give it up, and I don't see Baszler doing that because I don't see Baszler giving it up because that's been her shtick since she started in wrestling.
Well, not exactly, because Shayna Baszler has been the badass. She's the hard hitter. She's the one she's the one with the MMA background who can actually lock you into submission. Basically, if you want to go,
Sonya Deville, if I remember right, she's a tough enough one, but she's also she's the one that came out openly on the show.
Yep, she's an openly lesbian.
Yes.
But here's the thing.
Not that I'm judging. Let's hope they don't make it something.
Oh no.
Mandy Rose.
Oh no! Considering the fact that now Paige is single and Paige is also openly admitting that she is bisexual, please don't give WWE any ideas. Please don't.
I'm sure it's already out there. I'm not saying anything that is probably in the open. I don't care. I don't care what they do as long as it's done tastefully and right. But this is WWE we're talking about here. They'll screw it up somehow.
There you go. Just about to say that. But okay, I digress. Back to the kiss. Okay, pull out Shayna Baszler and Daria Bernato, formerly known as now known as Sonya Deville, out from WWE. Daria Bernato is still an amateur going in. She's not professional like Shayna Baszler does. Shayna Baszler is already an accomplished MMA. She's the one who started the whole women's revolution for MMA inside there before she stepped into the world of professional wrestling.
And was trained by Mercedes Martinez.
Yep. And
I think is a great wrestler. WWE, sign her now. God damn it.
Okay. And coming into WWE, both of them, I think I see Sonya Deville as more of the striker type. Will hit hard, will punish you. She's like Lepsy said, she's the one who looks like a badass. Shayna Baszler will kill you under submission. That's what I see. She's the how am I supposed to say this? She's the westernized version of Asuka on a lower level at 5. Kind of like that. If you want to make a direct comparison to that. But like I said, that's just my personal opinion. But okay.
I think, if I may, they still could pull it off because you have basically 2 shows. You have SmackDown Live and you have Raw. And it's a long story, but I think they could pull it off. Just put Shayna Baszler on the other roster and have her keep the MMA gimmick and have both of them keep the MMA gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
There?
We lose her?
I think we lost her.
I think she's disappeared for a second.
Okay, Taker, why don't you check it out? Anyway. Hello. Lepsy, you there? Okay. Did we get her back? Lepsy. Yoo-hoo.
That
I know.
happens. She'll be back. It's happened to me. It's happened. Remember, it's happened. It happened last week with all 5 of you leaving me alone for a second.
I mean, wait, did we leave? Oh yeah, we did.
Everybody dropped it like for a minute or so, and you all came
Oh, really?
back. Yeah.
I didn't even notice. That was good.
I covered it this time. I wasn't shocked by it because I was expecting it.
All right. Anyway, I think I can agree with Lepsy on that point. They could actually do both, keeping them separate while making their eventual meetup into something big. I mean, they already did that with both Nia Jax and Tamina, two of the Samoan background women wrestlers in both divisions. So I think it could work.
Maybe.
Give it time. Give it time. Be patient about it. I mean, it could work. We'll just have to see. The only one I'm more surprised seeing being a heel is Sarah Logan, considering the fact that we've seen her in the NYC as someone who's bubbly from the country and is not afraid of going down and dirty.
Well, the thing is, too, is she's been on Raw.
Well, she's been on Raw controlling Kane.
She's also been on Raw as a wrestler and being, basically a jobber.
Yeah, back when she was Mary Dobson or Sarah Bridges, I think. Number one, both of them. But yeah, I mean, both of them have good enough upside. I'm looking forward to the appearance both of these because it's just that I'm surprised that WWE went with the same thing for both SmackDown and Raw because let's be honest, usually when we see NXT debut, it's usually after the biggest show, which is WrestleMania, or probably on a shakeup for that matter. And I'm not knocking both of these highlights that happened because I like it. Because of course, Riot and Logan is going to instantly boost the SmackDown Women's division, considering the fact that we're going to lose Becky Lynch for several weeks due to her going out on a limb, with Sarah Logan slamming her into a door and taking her out in regards to bringing her to go shoot the Marine 6. Which is funny enough, considering that she's not going to be the damsel in distress. I don't know what role she's going to take. Hopefully, it's going to be good. Well, anyway, I digress. I like it. The week was interesting enough so that there's not much to nitpick. There's not much to say negatively about. There's nothing that I can't really comment badly about because I think that's the only two highlights that I can remember. The roster debuts of the women's and, of course, Roman Reigns winning the Intercontinental Championship. So, yeah.
Yes.
So that's just it.
I see a ceiling.
I'm back.
Okay.
You were mid-sentence on something about Shayna Baszler.
What were you saying again about Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville?
Yeah, I was saying that Shayna Baszler may be the more professional of the two, and Sonya may be the greener of the two. But if I didn't know that, if I were just seeing these two, I would probably think that Sonya was the more badass. So I think it could still work. And as I said, I think they could just put the two on the two different shows and have a slow build to one of the big four where they come to blows. So it could still work.
I agree.
Yeah, you could make it a Survivor Series type match.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Who is the true MMA goddess or some bullshit like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. That is, I think, that is possible if they book it right. They have a really, really compelling, great story on their hands here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's move on to TakeOver War Games. We're getting close to time here. We're at close to 2 hours, or we're over 2 hours now.
We're over 2 hours, yeah.
Nothing surprising with us.
Let's try to wrap it up quick.
Nothing surprising with us, Taker. I think we can. Okay. we can talk about War Games for just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
Velveteen Dream versus
Aleister Black.
Aleister Black.
I think that would be the biggest highlight of it.
Match.
Oh,
Okay.
that was the match of the night. Period.
Okay.
That was the match of the weekend for me.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And you go back to what you said earlier, or what Curtin Jerker said last week about how booking is simple.
Mhm.
This feud itself is all back to, I don't know, it's just how well you go from start to finish. It was the start of a feud to this match was the end of the feud.
The whole feud was
Here's the thing.
Velveteen Dream wanting Aleister Black to say his name.
That's it.
It's
That's
simple as it gets.
Simple.
Yeah. Yep. And
like I said, and like I said back then, I was going out from it. I was not really interested, but slowly when the whole build up to the whole feud came up, I was slowly more and more intrigued. And going into Takeover War Games, I'm looking forward to watching the match because these two have pulled on such great mind games and such intrigue.
Mhm.
You're keeping guessing that probably Velveteen Dream could actually upset Aleister Black. Of course, that didn't happen with Aleister Black landing Black Mass on Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
But the story was perfect. The story build-up was perfect.
It had a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
Immediately it puts off
Old
the
school booking.
Drink.
drink to that. It was old school booking at its finest. It harkens you back to the 70s, probably 80s, probably even 60s for that matter. So
Yeah.
flat out old school booking through and through. There's no high spots. There's not many high spots actually. There's not any because there's one or two.
Clark. Velveteen Dream tried to hit the Purple Rainmaker.
Mm-hmm. Which he tried, but he didn't.
He missed.
Get it. He missed it. And well, this has been a perfect build up to the character of Velveteen Dream. And Taker, you might like this as well. The moment Velveteen Dream revealed his pants, I was instantly reminded of Rick Rude.
Rick Rude, yeah, I thought of that too.
With the Ultimate Warrior on.
No, I was thinking more along the line of Jake the Snake Roberts' wife.
Yeah, yeah, that was wonderful.
That was one of the most controversial things that WWF did in the 80s. Was the face of Jake Roberts' wife on basically the crotch of Rick Rude.
And even though they kind of like avoided it with putting Velveteen Dream's face on one hip and his face on the other hip, it still
the message was there.
The message was there. Correct.
You said it best yesterday, or was it Fizz who said it? Velveteen Dream is a cross between Gold Dust, Rick Rude, and who was the third one? There was
Ernie Ladd.
Ernie Ladd, the big cat. Yes.
Yeah. Again, one of the old school heels of the 19. I don't care at this point. If you want to go drink a shot, go drink a shot. It's okay. I think we all can agree that this is one of the finest matches on Takeover.
Yeah.
On Takeover War Games, for that matter. I think this could actually challenge your favorite match of the year entitlement with Nikki Cross and Asuka's last woman standing. Could come close to this because going in, this has a beginning, a middle, and an end, both in storyline, both in wrestling storyline standpoint as well. This has been a coming of age for Velveteen Dream. Patrick Clark, he was a revelation. His in-ring ability meshes very well with his eccentric character. Aleister Black partners up with him very well in this opinion. And I will actually agree if people are commenting that Aleister Black is actually mentoring Velveteen Dream on this one. Which
He could be.
He's what, 22?
Yeah, he is 22.
He's got so much upside. It's scary.
You think about what he's given this gimmick, and he made it. I mean, like
he made it his
enthralling. Yeah, it's great. It's not just some. He could have failed flopped miserably with it, but he's taken it to a new level.
Yeah, here's the quickest thing that I could do. Velveteen Dream's character given to Patrick Clark. Patrick could either make this into a second coming of Goldust, or he could make it into a second coming of Orlando Jordan back in Donner's Party of Wrestling. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Remember him?
Well, the thing is though, with the Velveteen Dream, there is a lot of sexual undertones there.
There's a lot, but people
people are buying it. I mean, this is actually WWE doing some homosexual type stuff tastefully.
Yep, agreed.
When it first started, you could see Patrick Clark, I'm going to use his shoot name, was not sure about it. But over the months, he has gotten more and more comfortable with it. He is acting the part very well. It is, I mean, and this is one being tastefully done. If WWE leaves it alone and doesn't try to tweak it one way more overboard than another, it'll work beautifully all the way through his career if he keeps it.
And I really don't even think it's a lot of homosexual tendencies. To me, he reminds me a lot of Prince.
Yes.
It's definitely sexuality, but
there's a lot of.
He's also that flamboyant.
There's a lot of people that can sit there and say, "Is he gay or isn't he?"
Yeah, no, definitely.
By the way he acts, that was thought about with Prince. It's
the flamboyancy. It's the showboatness. It's all there. So
I'm going to add one more old school wrestler to that group. Yep.
I'm running out of vodka here, dude.
It's superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You got Big Cat with the promo work that Velveteen can do. And then you got the blend of Billy Graham, Goldust, and Rick Rude, all put together, and he's making it work so well.
Yep.
But then again, Patrick Clark, the man, is a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, I agree. Because if he didn't really see this by now, if he didn't envision it by now, I think his status as being a true wrestling fan would have been a little bit tarnished. Well, but again,
when he was on Tough Enough. He was the only one of the group that got up to watch Beast from the East live.
Yep, I agree on that. But here's the thing, though. I err on the side of caution because just a little bit of erring on the side of caution because, of course, there's a little bit of rumors and issues that Patrick Clark has a little bit of tendency to be causing himself into trouble. Not as much now. It's just that he has a record of trouble. And now I think now that he's now putting his head down and doing the work that he deserves. So this is his result, and I'm happy for that.
I think I think he's seeing it.
Yeah, and yes,
in the Indies, he didn't really have a character.
Yeah.
Now he's got one, and he's making fantastic chicken salad out of it from chicken, not from chicken shit, from chicken.
From chicken, yes. I mean, okay. I think that would be one of the best highlights that you want to talk about for TakeOver. The rest of the matchup was actually great. And there's not much to nitpick about. The second one would be Andrade Almas finally winning his title, finally winning the NXT Championship title off of Drew McIntyre.
Perfect timing for former Los Ingobernables man to have a title.
And I think this was a more, how am I supposed to say it? I think this was a more of a reward for a job well done for Almas because he has done tremendous since he's been partnered up with Zelina Vega.
Yes.
And I've said this a lot of times already. This is the perfect Tranquilo type character, the uncomfortable type character that he has pulled.
Yeah.
Because back then, even if he was pulling it off, it doesn't really look acceptable or doesn't really set off the correct tone for it. Now, especially with the foil of Zelina Vega, he's doing that. So yeah, I love his iteration of the Los Ingobernables on this one. And I think, yes, it's a correct time. It's more him getting the reward that he deserves, I think, in my eyes as a someone who kind of knows the backstage and all that. As a fan, I enjoyed it. I mean, as a fan, start to finish, I love the match. Zelina Vega was perfect in her role as manager. Even got her licks in with the Spike Rana. That was hard. Yeah.
And unfortunately, Drew McIntyre suffered a legit injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which was, again.
It was an accidental injury. I think it happened on the first armbar on the rope is where it happened.
Yep. And if you notice, I think McIntyre even told the ref, even told Almas that my arm's busted. And they worked with it. Which was admirable as well. So.
Yeah. But, you heard me say, "Oh, Rush."
I know your love for Rush to be called up.
Rush, man. There are two wrestlers that the WWE needs to get. Two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both men. One is Pentagon Dark. The other one is Rush.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a heat magnet better in the world than Rush.
Uh-huh.
I've said this before, and I will say this again. I watched CMLL on Fridays for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you want him in?
People buy cups of beer just to throw at him. That's how much heat this guy gets.
That's pretty good.
They'll buy their $6 and $7 a cup of beer just to throw at him.
Which is true. I mean, okay.
Nobody gets more heel heat than Rush.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'll have to wait.
Put him with Zelina Vega and
Cien Almas.
Cien Almas. Oh my God.
Oh please.
Scary group.
It's a scary thought because that means you're gonna have to.
With Pentagon sacrificing arms to his maestro. Oh shit. Okay. I digress. All right.
Okay, I think that was I think that was close enough a fight against Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream against it. So I'm going down the pecking order, of course. Going down the pecking order again, we have the Fatal 4-Way match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Surprising. I think to me, personally, I think Ember Moon winning was a surprise for me initially. But when I found out the little details that I did not know, to be honest, at the beginning, then I understand why Ember Moon has to win.
Details.
Okay.
That's news.
Okay. Where is NXT TakeOver War Games placed in?
Houston.
She's from Texas, I know.
Mm-hmm. I think she's from Austin, Texas. But yeah, she did make a few independent shows on Houston. She had worked in Houston, number one. And am I correct in saying that Texas has had their fair share of natural disasters?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
especially Houston.
Mm-hmm. So put those two and two together. Wow. Ember Moon winning.
And the Astros winning the
World Series,
Series, and it makes sense.
Yeah. I think
they need some positives for that city and the state in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can posit it out like that. I think now that I can see it, because I could posit it like that. I may be wrong. Maybe it's not the decision at all. Maybe Ember Moon winning is just a foregone conclusion because of the past with her and Asuka. Because I think the more interesting take on it is that not many people like it in the internet wrestling community that Ember Moon won, because not the case of Ember Moon winning, the case of Asuka presenting the title to Ember Moon.
Yeah, that was part of me. That was what kind of annoyed me. I don't mind her winning, but I don't think they needed to put that out there. But
yeah, I myself think that's a class act on the previous champion, for a simple fact that you actually see a physical passing of the torch, so to speak. Mm. That's how I looked at it.
I think so. I mean, I can see both sides.
Asuka, the most dominant NXT Women's Champion ever, having had 2 great matches with this woman, says, because she stopped William Regal from going. I wanted to call him Steven Regal from WCW days.
Yeah. Lord Steven Regal.
Yes, Lord Steven Regal. Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
to take the belt, and it basically asked him, "Let me do it." He passed it to her because she technically, even though she vacated, she still was reigning as the champion.
Correct.
And just handed the title to her. And I think that's a class act because it's like a physical passing of the torch. Something you don't see done very often anymore.
Great. Lepsy, anything to add on this one?
Not really. No.
All right.
I enjoyed the match. I was really happy that Amber won because out of the four, well, she was my favorite, and she is my favorite. So I was really happy with the outcome. And so for me, it also and what you said earlier, it makes perfect sense. So.
I mean, it's not. I'm sure it's not really what WWE planned, but I can posit it's to be that way. I think I feel that it's going to be that way because, like I said, I see things from both coins. I can understand why you saying that Asuka coming out and giving Ember Moon the title is kind of wrong. Kind of sort of feels wrong in a sense. I can see that because, well, yeah, it just shows the image that okay, Ember Moon is receiving the title from Asuka. Why not Ember Moon defeating Asuka on the first match or even the second matchup that they did? Okay, fine. I can understand that. And I can also understand the prestige of it. The former title holder handing the title back to the current ones. So I can understand that. Prestige, honor, those kind of stuff.
Well, where is Asuka from?
Japan. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a land of
respect,
honor,
and
courtesy.
tradition. Yeah, and tradition. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, like I said, I can understand both sides of the coin. I can understand that. Especially now when I found out that, okay, I think it's goodwill. That's it. Perfect. But okay, quick speaking on the other match with Cassius Ohno and Lars Sullivan. Okay, again, building Lars Sullivan up to be the next Braun Strowman pretty fast. If you guys watch One Piece, or if you guys watch any manga or anime, he looks like the big guy. Lars Sullivan looks like the big guy who has a funny voice.
Yep. He definitely does.
He's the character, but
you can see in his in-ring work, Lars Sullivan is very, very polished already.
Yep.
Very, very polished. Yes, correct.
He's very safe. For someone, he's someone who realizes just how big and how strong he is.
He's very safe, yes.
And you look at there's two you have in WWE right now. Braun Strowman is the same way. He's big, he's strong, he knows it,
and he wrestles in a safe manner. Yeah,
he wrestles very safely. Like I said, he basically babied Kurt Angle on that table spot in TLC.
The biggest,
big time.
I know, I understand. The biggest argument, I think,
he took the table with his elbows. Kurt didn't really hit the table.
Yeah. If quick eyes can spot that. The biggest argument would be that people are still sad that they can't get to see Cassius Ohno returning back to the Chris Hero mode. I think that's what people set people off a little bit.
He won't ever.
Let me be clear. Nowadays, you cannot see that Chris Hero, the darling of the independent, back here again as Cassius Ohno in NXT. No, sir. Because that is way past him. I see him now as the locker room leader and the gatekeeper of the NXT. He's the one who's going to help you push, help the younger talents get a push. He's that kind of guy. He's the carpenter, basically.
Yep, that he is.
Yeah, not much to say on that.
Like Natty. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Cassius Ohno will get his run with the NXT title. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
They're going to give him his role. They're going to give him his gold watch run.
And
then he's going to probably become a coach down there.
Yeah. Yes, agree. I mean, okay. Quickly speaking, just gonna go scoot over this. Decent matchup. Nothing much to say about this because I'm sure we can wrap up with the last part, which is War Games.
Mr. Average.
as I like to call Mr. Adam Cole. Because
Baby!
fine right now. Fine right now.
I had to. You know there was going to be at least one. Cover it for me, will you?
I mean, I think I ranted enough about this yesterday with Fizz back in his podcast, but I'll go on the mellow side of the note going, okay. First off, you start off with three of the most averagest of averages with Eric Young and Roderick Strong. And then to top it off, you started off with Mr. Average himself, Adam Cole. Nothing short of just...
I went to the bathroom at that part.
I mean, okay. It was... Here's the thing, though. I think Taker, you and I both agree. As much as we put the rag on both Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era, this whole match was all about the Authors of Pain and Sanity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or it should have been.
Or should have been. Yes, correct. Because here's the thing. Adam Cole coming in, he didn't do nothing. Nothing he did. Came out, did his shtick, did his whole Adam Cole pointing out at the sky and is saying the dreaded word that must not be said. And then when Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly came, okay, then we see a little bit of heelish moves, heelish tactics. Okay, done, fine.
Who was the one that chair shotted himself off the ropes?
Was
that Bobby Fish?
I think that was Bobby Fish.
No, it wasn't the guy with the mustache, so it must have been Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, okay. I kind of forgotten who. Okay, Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly was the one without the mustache. Kyle O'Reilly was the one without mustache. Bobby Fish is the one with the curly mustache. Reminds you of 70s old school strongman.
Shut.
I mean, okay.
There are some drunk listeners, that's for damn sure.
Okay, going quickly down this. Okay, people are saying obviously the Undisputed Era was the focus of this, followed by Sanity and Authors of Pain, which to me, I think the Authors of Pain and Sanity was the one who carried the whole thing. It's just that the Undisputed Era was the one who brought the storyline to boot. The gimmick was questionable in and of itself, but I think it did the job done. It did its job well.
I like the one caveat they put in place.
What?
Because the original War Games had a ceiling, a roof.
Yeah, true.
Where they put in this one, they had an open cage, and they said anybody who escapes the cage, any person that escapes the team, their team is eliminated.
Yep.
The question would be, how the hell are they going to get the other two out? That was the only question I had, but they tried to cover the open top.
Agreed. And I put one very particular rag on one spot where Killian Dane took the key, locked the cage first, took the key, and swallowed it.
Yes,
Has anyone reminded him that you just need to look up? Has anyone
that was, like I said, covered by the statement in the rules that if you climbed out of the cage over the top or got out to the door, your team forfeited the match.
I know. But doesn't that seem a little bit funny that, okay, you just lock the cage and then swallow the key. You don't need to actually swallow the key.
That's why I said they should have used a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. But okay. Quickly going through this. It was as fun. It was as intense. It had a high level of violence. The heated rivalry between the three teams came to a fitting conclusion. And again, just as I said back in the Breakfast series, I hope that the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong win, but the logical conclusion being the Undisputed Era wins. I still hate the fact that happened. I am still hating the fact that happened. And I am still asking people for fines whenever people bring it up that Adam Cole has a catchphrase. Yeah.
You got the whole crowd to say that. That's what's so sad. Sorry.
I'm done talking. I'm done talking about this.
You know,
anybody else wants to pitch in?
That match was the honor of the night. It had a lot of hype built to it, but it didn't live up to the hype. You know, that was the worst match for the night. The match of the night was the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Mm.
And I agree with Angel on it being the match of the weekend because it was beautifully done.
Mm.
Overall rating on the show for me, C+.
Okay.
Which is sad for NXT because normally they push the main roster so hard.
Mm.
They didn't quite live up to it this year.
Okay. Angel, Lepsy,
Harsh.
anyone? Harsh. Okay. Okay. Anything to add for War Games and War Games as a whole?
I give it a B. Although I gave Survivor Series a B+, I did really enjoy the show, start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really chime in on the title match much, but the ending was, it was a little convoluted.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. As a whole, though, there were some great matches. The War Games match had a couple great spots. I mean, I have to shout out Killian Dane for hitting a Van Terminator.
Oh yeah, I forgot
that blew my mind away.
Because someone as big as him is deceptively quick.
I can't even. It's a whole different dimension.
And how the hell that he can cross from one end of the ring to the other end of the ring doing the Van Terminator? That is good. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, those are my main thoughts on it, and I already explained how I thought about the Black and Dream match. So,
okay.
I will say though, even though it was part of NXT weekend, and it aired on Wednesday, I mentioned that AJ Styles is my favorite right now, and close behind him, right at the very moment, is Pete Dunne.
Okay.
He is just a phenomenal performer.
Okay.
I don't know. I just had to throw that out there. Chance. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lepsy, anything to add on this one? On War Games and War Games as a whole?
Okay. I would give the show a B.
Okay.
Straight B. I greatly enjoyed it. I mean, you've said it all about Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black. I think that match was amazing. I really grew, or rather, Velveteen Dream grew on me. So, job achieved. I also have to shout out to my compatriot, to Alexander Wolf, for that crazy spot. Because wow, I mean, the pictures that I saw of him being helped to the back, the crazy wobbly grin that he had on his face. I don't know if he really was basically out, or if he was keeping kayfabe with it. Either way, I enjoyed the show. So for me, incidentally, the weakest match was the women's match, was the Fatal 4-Way. So I think overall, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't think that's too far-fetched saying that the women's match was the weakest, but
for me, they were all quite good, but for me, the women's match, I can still remember parts of Cassius Ohno versus Lars Sullivan, simply because I like both performers again, and Lars Sullivan greatly entertains me. And
it was a good Haas match. So
it was good, and
okay.
Huge Aleister Black fan.
And I think there was some timing off on the women too. So
there was one good thing about the Lars Sullivan match, Lars Sullivan Cassius Ohno match, is that this was the first time that we actually seen Lars get knocked off his feet.
Indeed.
He had not been put down before that.
True.
That is true.
I mean, that is true. I mean, okay. To me, okay, this is I would still say that as much chaotic as War Games was, the War Games main event was, it was still okay, I guess. I was entertained because it put the point across that this is the be-all, end-all thing for tag teams or a team as a whole. This is how you settle your dispute by putting them into war. Yeah, you get that point across. Done. Over and done with. But unfortunately, even with the whole NXT TakeOver War Games, with War Games being the whole be all and all of it. It isn't the main focus of the event, unfortunately, because you are overshadowed it by Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream, or Drew McIntyre, Andrade Almas. That's out, over and done with. Overall, it's a solid B for me. And yes, surprisingly, Survivor Series was better than NXT TakeOver. A Big Four pay-per-view show was better than a TakeOver show.
Yeah.
Which is a rarity.
Yes.
Which is a rarity, considering. But hey, I'm not going to nitpick on that. If they did it, well, congratulations to them.
I would say it wouldn't be that case if AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar wasn't the match. If it was AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal. And
it would have brought what could have been. I think you can say that. What could have been the whole thing.
Let's not talk about what could have been. Let's only talk about what was.
Yep, and it was great. So
it was great. Anyway,
yeah,
that was okay. Considering that was more or less what we have to this week. Yay! So we survived the breakfast series. Actually survived the breakfast series when we talked about it. Anyway, we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you so much to both guests that we have. One Winged Angel, you have officially now entered the whole realm of podcasting.
Hooray!
Now we actually hear your voice. Welcome. Hope you had a good time.
You guys are great.
Well,
I appreciate you having me on. I hope you get to have me on again. So
we will.
And as well, welcome back, Kat, lepsaxon, Fräulein lepsaxon. I hope you enjoyed yourself as well.
Fräulein.
If Fräulein as well. Yes, I do know a little bit of German. I do know a little bit of German, even though I'm Japanese.
If I'd have known she was German, I would have asked her at the very beginning. I would have went, Fräulein, wie geht es Ihnen? That would have blew her mind.
Well, yeah, it would have impressed her. But yeah, welcome back, lepsaxon. Hope to hear from you more. And yeah, okay, let's finish up with a little bit of plugin. Do you two have any plugins? Go.
You can find me on Cage Side Seats. This is One Winged Angel, but on Twitter, you can also find me at Angel Seph, SEPH 16, Angel Seph 16. I'm also on Snapchat, _Jimmy, and that's Jimmy JIMMIE. I post a few stories and whatnot if you want to see what goes on in my crazy world.
Okay.
But mostly you find me in the daily, One Winged Angel on Cage Side Seats as well. And the nightly, once in a while, I like to make a surprise appearance. So,
all right, perfect. When and where?
Well, I think I'll probably be posting again soon on Cage Side. I haven't been around for a while. I've only been lurking. But I may come out of my hiatus soon. In the meantime, you can find me on both Instagram and also on Twitter, both with the handle @lepsaxon. So the same as on Cage Side.
Perfect.
Looking forward to seeing you make your triumphant return.
Oh, of course. Wonderful.
You can find me at TakersMinion on Twitter. You can also find me on the nightly and the daily more so these days. I've been able to do more daily stuff. And MBS, where do they find you?
Okay. They can find me on Cage Side Seat, both the daily as well as the nightly. Not as much as Taker, but I'll be there or thereabouts. Unless TakersMinion suddenly pulls out a summoning card, summon MDS to the table. He has done that before, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you've had to settle arguments.
Yep, I had to settle arguments for one.
Between me and Metal Matt.
Oh, boy.
Anyways, you can catch me on Cage Side Seats. My name is Mr. Dr. Senju, or you can catch me on Twitter. My my Twitter handle is BeckyGotBank666. I don't know why I'm still keeping that name. I should have.
There's a thank you needed after that. There's a thank you.
Thank you to the person named Swiss Last Kicker for giving me this wonderful Twitter handle. Please, of course.
Is that how it?
I don't. There's a story behind that. We'll touch on that later.
Great.
Okay. Aside from that, aside from us, Shootin' the Breeze,
Shameless plugs. We got the shameless plugs of other
we have
shows.
the shameless plugs. Let's do that. We have CSS affiliated shows. Keeping Up with the Kayfabe. Not Your Demographic has done their episodes yesterday. If I'm not, if I'm correct,
posted yesterday.
correctly. It's posted yesterday. Have a listen to that. As well as a few unofficial Cage Side shows, Cage Side Speaks, which we hope will be on next week. I have no idea whether there's a definite answer on that. We'll just see what happens. I hope that they're going to cover Survivor Series on that matter. And then we also have unofficial shameless plugs. We have shows made by Conrad Thompson back in MLW. He has 2 shows, What Happens When, and also, what was the other one, Taker?
What Happened When, and that's with Tony Schiavone, and then you got Something to Wrestle with Dr. Bruce Pritchard.
Yes, those 2, and as well as us, we have also an unaffiliated podcast. We have Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling, hosted by Fizzy, 14 Fitzpatrick, and Sal Cusmano, Don Sal Cusmano at Cusmano_Sal. I did a show with them yesterday, actually specifically with Fizz yesterday. Catch them on the YouTube at 14 Fitzpatrick, as well as 2 Guys, One Sport with Crazy Chris and Curtain Jerker. These 2 guys are crazy. These 2 guys are insane, but these guys might as well be the best, funniest guys that put out wrestling content as well. Anyways, has been episode 21 of Shootin' the Breeze.
We're legal! Yay!
Oh God, are you guys drunk? Are you guys drunk over there? I hope you are drunk. I hope you aren't drunk as well. If you are, okay. If you aren't, never mind. Anyway, this has been episode 21, Shootin' the Breeze, surviving the breakfast series. Thank you again to both lepsaxon and One Winged Angel for being guests on the 21st episode.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Hope to hear from you guys later. It was fun. It was enlightening, of course. For TakersMinion, I am Mr. Dr. Senju. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See y'all later.